Even if she doesn't, we have his DNA under her fingernails, her handgun in his possession.
Guessing you'd be even more.
Yeah, I could tell by the way you arrested him.
The man over real. So say anything.
You didn't knock yourself out on him. And let him know if anything happened again.
Probably. Thanks for all this.
Take your time, Cody.
Better beats me. Number 3.
Good job, buddy.
Honey? You gotta be kidding me. Who's this, the most fucking?
When he's on the job, you have bigger problems.
You could have tipped her off. I'll bring this up trial.
Take this to trial for what we have. He goes away for life.
What do you have?
A lot. But we're only going to hear your client's sides.
I had no issue rapist interrogation for one count.
Don't call him that.
Give me a few minutes with his lawyer. That's not gonna do him any good.
Can I go home now?
I'll take it. Thank you, Captain. Counselor. Don't let that son of a bitch get back. We won't. And don't forget to give Velasco attaboy. Top-notch work. Told you Velasco was a keeper.
Yes, you did. First of all, this is a rush to judgment. You have the Captain's Endowment Association all over you, so you pick up the nearest donut. His DNA is all over the scene. And don't even try to sippy cup excuse. Wait, hold on, what are we talking about?
The client didn't tell you that we picked him up 2 days ago as a suspect of another rape in front of a woman's child?
Relax, Avogado.
She couldn't ID you. Who are we talking about?
Crystal Nunez, remember her?
Yeah. And I already told you. I saw her ice cream, never raped her. These guys, their minds already made it up. I told those detectives about those kids in the park who've been harassing these women. They didn't do anything.
We didn't find their DNA under Peggy Grogan's fingernails.
They haven't already just put it there. Fake news, fake clues.
Real jury.
Charles, I think we're done.
So we.
We're gonna send your client to Central Booking. Okay, no, I'm not-
Yesterday was 123, 123. So happy New Year, happy 2024 to everyone. Thanks for tuning in and watching. As currently the college football playoff is ongoing. We have the Rose Bowl in the fourth quarter with the Sugar Bowl coming up momentarily. As Alabama is playing Michigan. Later on, it'll be Texas and Washington. The two winners will meet in 1 week's time in the college football playoff national championship game. So we're keeping tabs in Pasadena and down in the Bayou, but also in Southern California this evening. The Red Brand and the WWE Monday Night Raw will have a day one special to begin 2024. As the day one pay-per-view was a one-time thing 2 years ago. Didn't have it last year. Here we are now tonight. We'll see what happens. There's a report that a former WWE World Champion is set to return. Who that could be, who knows? Only time will tell from now until 11 p.m. Eastern Time here tonight over the next few hours on Monday Night Raw. So in the meantime, thanks for tuning in and watching my live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube of WWE Monday Night Raw Day 1 and the college football playoff with the two semifinals once more in the Rose and Sugar Bowl respectively, as Alabama is currently leading Michigan 17-13 early fourth quarter. Texas, Washington to kick off from the Superdome in about 45 minutes or so. So thanks for tuning in and watching. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Coin Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Hit the red subscribe button, notification button next to it as well to stay up to date. Thumbs up button if you're hoping for either Alabama, Michigan, Texas, or Washington to win to get to the promised land to vie for a national championship 1 week from now. Share hashtag as it is New Year's Day, so Happy New Year to everyone. But college football, CFP playoff, WWE, WWE Raw, whatever the hell you want to use, doesn't matter to me. But just once more, thanks for tuning in and watching. And then chat questions and comments. Super chat, super stickers, super likes, super thanks. Always greatly appreciated. As well as this video is powered by Rogue Energy, HopeKThrifts, and Dead and Hungry. First off with Rogue Energy, as they actually just took us to the 10-minute preview with the live look-in into the arena as they're in the 619 tonight in San Diego, California for Monday Night Raw. So, I mean, hell, who knows? It might be Rey Mysterio returning because of that. But they have a few things planned, it seems like. We'll have to see what the hell happens, though. I mean, they're on the road to the Royal Rumble, and then we'll be on the road to WrestleMania here before too long. Michigan just got a fumble off of Alabama. Now they got a 1st and 10 right at midfield, down 4 with about 12 minutes to play. I mean, right now the difference in this game is a missed extra point by the Wolverines, unless it be 17-14, and then they don't need a field goal right now to tie, unless, of course, let alone they score and take a lead then. Decision to make if they do score to, just kick the extra point, which I would do because it would make it a 3-point lead, 20-17 then, rather than go for 2. But seemingly got a Rose Bowl Classic on our hands, a low-scoring defensive showdown that not necessarily expected, but as mentioned in my college football bowl season preview, you should go check that out if you haven't done so already. But that this game would be won up front in the trenches. Whoever would win the line of scrimmage would probably end up winning to get to the national championship game 1 week from now. Flea flicker, they fumble it, and then he, of course, falls down on it, so he's down back about 35-yard line now. So Big Ten versus SEC. We know how that normally shakes out in the bowl season. Yeah, Michigan, as Alabama lucks out. Michigan had one guy open over the middle, but of course couldn't execute the trick play. So 3rd and long. But then the later game, a quick pass on the bubble screen far side just to get in field goal range to kick it and be down 1 then. Field goal would tie once again, but remember that missed extra point. This kick's going to be from about 50. 48, 49, 50 yards. Alabama made a 50-yarder earlier. But yeah, the missed extra point by the Wolverines is right now the difference, or else this field goal, if it's good, would tie it at 17 apiece, but they'd still be down 1. So we'll see what happens here. But of course, then you have the Sugar Bowl. That's going to be a shootout, as I mentioned a couple weeks back. High snap. And kicks up and no good. Got the hold down, but knuckleballed it wide left. So that's 2 missed kicks by Michigan, and that's why they're down. There's still time to, play here, but they're going to have to get a stop on defense, force a field goal. Give it a touchdown, game might be over. You'd be down 11 then with, less than that to play. Still needing a touchdown, a 2-point, and a field goal just to tie if you can hold. So see what happens here, but yeah, they're going to have to get a defense stop if they want to give themselves a chance to win this game. So we'll see what happens. Force the field goal, you go touchdown, game's probably over with. And remember, it was 13-10 at halftime, Michigan. It's 17-13 Alabama right now, a couple minutes in the 4th quarter. So Alabama's controlled the second half, to say the least. So now after that missed field goal, as they missed the extra point earlier, Michigan's going to have to get a stop on defense, force the field goal themselves. So they're going to be down 7 then, 20-13. It's, a touchdown game, get the ball back, score, tie it up. but if you give up a touchdown, you're down 11. It's going to be tough. So we'll see what happens. As we're a few minutes away from the top of the hour, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, for the start of Monday Night Raw. So we'll see how they kick off the show. As once again, they're on the road to the Royal Rumble at the end of the month, here or the first of the month, but already looking ahead, and then we'll be on the road to WrestleMania. They'll have Elimination Chamber in between, hence the graphic on the thumbnail. So, yeah, we'll see what happens on Monday Night Raw this evening. I really don't know what to expect. You know, it could just be another average show. It could be, you know, great, excellent. You know, what a way to, you know, kick off the year with a bang. Like, I don't know. I don't think anybody knows what to expect. That's why we're going to have to sit here and watch and be on the edge of our seat potentially. If something, you know, does start to boil, okay, they're teasing this, teasing that, all right, when's it coming, and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But after Raw begins, as mentioned, of course, the Rose Bowl then will be over with, as the Penn State Lions are, in fact, your reigning and defending Rose Bowl champions, but that'll be coming to an end here in about 15 minutes or so of play on the gridiron with Alabama and Michigan. They'll then be the 2024 Rose Bowl champs and win in the college football playoff semis and be going to the national championship game once again next week. But Sugar Bowl coming up next, Texas, Washington, as I mentioned, with the Rose Bowl. Thinking this game's one up front in the trenches. Sugar Bowl, yeah, shootout. So expect a lot of points down in the bayou with the Horns and the Huskies. The Steve Sarkisian Bowl, if you will, as he's the former Washington coach and current Texas coach. But as I was saying, once more, thanks for tuning in and watching. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, social media, links in the description below. Thumbs up button, share, chat questions or comments, super chat, super sticker, super like, super thanks. Always greatly appreciated as well. As this video is powered by Rogue Energy, HopeKThrifts, and Dead and Hungry. So, first off with Rogue Energy, be sure to get your favorite energy and hydration flavors in can or tub form. Shakers and Rogue Energy merch at the link in the description below. Be sure to use the code Luke, that's L-U-K-E, Luke123 for 10% off. HopeKThrifts, a secondhand resale shop that focuses on sustaining the environment in a cheap and fashionable way, as most items are $20 or less and include brands like American Eagle, Converse, Free People, and Shein, among others. HopeKThrifts found on Depop, Instagram, Macari, and Poshmark at, yes, you guessed it, HopeKThrifts. That's HopeKThrifts. HopeKThrifts, so be sure to use the message seller code CHEAPTHRIFTS, CHEAPTHRIFTS, CHEAPTHRIFTS for 10% off. Link also in the description below. And then Dead and Hungry, novel written by Nathan D. Mitchell, found on Amazon. Find it on Amazon for your Kindle for $4.99. You can also find it on Amazon. The paper deck edition is about $15. And as I'd always say, as unfortunately, once again, I don't have the book in front of me, but reading the back description, if that doesn't interest you, you might as well be what the title says, because it is a must read. So yeah, Dead and Hungry. Be sure to check out Rogue Energy, HopeKThrifts, and novel written by Nathan D. Mitchell once more, Dead and Hungry. And thanks for tuning in and watching my live watch along reactions over on YouTube of the day one edition of Monday Night Raw, as actually on SmackDown this upcoming Friday night. Be sure to tune back in then live here on YouTube as well. WWE will bring back New Year's Revolution for Friday Night SmackDown. So we'll see what's in store then, of course. But first things first, take care of business one thing at a time. And, you know, we'll get the show on the road here and see what, you know, happens. WWE day one on Monday Night Raw. NXT tomorrow night. They'll have New Year's Evil. AEW's on Wednesday, of course, with Dynamite. Friday night as well with Rampage, and then this upcoming Saturday night with the first Collision of the year, as they're coming off of a World's End pay-per-view this past weekend, in which Samoa Joe defeated MJF to become the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion, and then Adam Cole was revealed as the Devil in Disguise. So we'll see what direction they move forward in. But in the meantime, they fade to black from Law and Order to then now forever together WWE for Monday Night Raw. It is day one, so we'll see how they kick off the show. We'll see what's at 9, 10, and of course in the main event. But yeah, thanks once again for tuning in and watching my WWE Monday Night Raw Day 1 and College Football Playoff Semifinal Rose and Sugar Bowl live watch-along reactions live here on YouTube. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. And as they give us the opening video package that recently changed. So, yeah, WWE Monday Night Raw. It's a Day 1 special. They normally don't do, you know, TV specials like this. They don't. But they're taking old pay-per-views that they're not using on weekends, and welcome to 2024. Is Michael Cole on commentary but yelling to the crowd as well? They say Happy New Year and welcome to... Okay, him and Bad News Wade Barrett are in the ring. They're on mics, not on the announce desk just yet. So they're pumped up. They're getting this show on the road. How are they kicking off the show, though? Who's he going to introduce? Seth frickin' Rollins going to defend his World Heavyweight Championship. That'll be against the Scottish psychopath turned warrior Drew McIntyre. That's later on tonight. World Heavyweight Championship match. Seemingly in the main event. Also, Rhea Ripley and Natalya for the Raw Women's World Heavyweight Championship as well. I wouldn't expect a title change in either of those matches, to be honest with you, but we'll see. And then, yeah, an internet rumor, if you will, led to Triple H's tweet. Not going to confirm or deny the rumors of a former WWE champion appearing at hashtag WWE Raw Day 1 tonight, but I will say to stay tuned. New Year's Day, 8 p.m. on the USA Network. Yeah. So, American Nightmare Cody Rhodes going to be live this evening as well. Of course, remember, CM Punk returned at Survivor Series. Wrestled a few times this past week during the holiday house shows. The man, Becky Lynch, will actually kick off the show. So we'll have to see what she has to say. It seems like they're going to kick off and end the show with... Rollins and Lynch. They've got a match. They've rang the bell, opening contest, cut for one fall. Who the hell is she facing? Five years in the making with Becky Lynch. Okay, who the hell is she facing? As Alabama's got a fourth down, up 4. 5 minutes and counting to play. They're going to have to punt. So Michigan's going to have a chance here to drive and score, maybe win this game. They're taking us the whole way back to Nia Jax breaking Becky Lynch's nose and then becoming the man. So is it going to be Becky and Nia kicking off Monday Night Raw tonight, one-on-one? Seemingly so. We'll see. Actually, Alabama's going to kick a long field goal, and it's going to hook in just good. So now they're up 7, 20-13, and now Michigan needs a touchdown to tie. Once again, they missed a field goal themselves, let alone that missed extra point from earlier. That's 4 points off the board. You know, it could be 20-17 right now. Michigan will need a field goal to tie at 20, let alone score to take a lead. But it's a touchdown now, for themselves to just tie it up to keep this game going. The last time College Football Playoff had a semifinal, not necessarily just the Rose Bowl game. They had it, supposed to have it during the 2020 season during COVID, but moved to a different site. But the last time, the Rose Bowl was played, Penn State beat Utah for 1 year ago tomorrow, January the 2nd. That's been one of the key dates in blue and white history. If you know, you know. But with that being said, the Rose Bowl's had as everyone has through the past decade, the college football playoff, 14 playoff format that's going to be moving to 12 now next year, on a 3-year cycle. Rose Bowl now with its fourth semifinal game from 14 on. And the last time they were actually in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl, home of the UCLA Bruins, the granddad of them all, though, here on New Year's, was when Georgia and Oklahoma faced, and game went to overtime. So this game's coming down to the wire. I'm not saying we're going to overtime, but potentially we might. We'll see how it plays out. But that game actually broke the scoring record for most points scored in the Rose Bowl that year from a previous record the year set before with Penn State and USC that ended on a game-winning field goal for now future conference opponents, which is going to have to be something everybody's going to have to get used to, no doubt about it. But all right, yeah, Becky Lynch is taking on Nia Jax to kick off this Monday Night Raw Day 1 special here tonight. So hashtag WWE Raw. This feels like it's just fucking come out of nowhere with the... I get the past few months, they've both been on Raw. Nia actually just returned to the company early fall, but just that video package they just showed, like, when you start off, this match is 5 years in the making, like, and they haven't really fought in the meantime since, and now you're doing it tonight for whatever reason. I mean, beats the hell out of me. Yeah, Becky Lynch, Nia Jax going to kick it off, and they ring the bell. So Monday Night Raw underway for the Day 1 special, but we'll have to see who wins that. We're going to be keeping tabs on the final 441 and the granddad of them all, the Rose Bowl game with Alabama and Michigan tied up on the striped helmets. 20-13 touchback. 4:41 to go. So 1st and 10 for the winged helmets. Did I say striped? I meant to say winged helmets. Michigan Wolverines. Actually, when we return, they take a commercial break. So one of the main reasons it seems like, I get this ain't a pay-per-view, but they're making it out to be a pay-per-view. It's a TV special. So I said they never really do, TV specials. They don't. It's still just always Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. It's not a, Day 1 on Monday Night Raw or New Year's Revolution on Friday Night SmackDown, as it will be this week. There's a tag team match still to come. Yeet, Jey Uso, and Kofi Kingston of the New Day going to take on Imperium. As Gunther, of course, still your Intercontinental Champion. Just had a baby, so congrats. Becky became the man. Had a baby in the meantime. So, back a few years. Congrats to her and Seth frickin' Rollins. She returned, yeah. Nia returned to the company. It was like late August, early September, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, just a little odd. They're having this match kick off the show, but I'm sure they're keeping tabs on. All right, we gotta be watching this and doing what we're doing too, and when are the eyeballs going to be on our product versus when they're not going to be. So I mean, no offense to the women's division, but nobody's really interested in this right now. I mean, the fans in the stands have to watch because they're there. I mean, if you have your phone, you can be watching the games that way, or if you're at an AEW show watching WWE pay-per-view or vice versa. But yeah, like, especially games coming down to the wire, final 5 minutes, like, it's New Year's Day, okay? College football has always rolled on January 1. Of course, bowl games aren't what they used to be. But like, they think once Monday Night Football's over with that they're fine. No. Like, technically, they're still up head-to-head with competition, as they are all year long anyway, but other sports, especially football, like, it's always from, as they're actually going to take a break, split screen. We're back to it. Alabama, Michigan, 1st and 10 Wolverines, a 30-yard line on a 5-yard run. It's really from, mid-September, once football begins, Monday Night Football, until, like, right for the Royal Rumble, that every Monday night that there's going to be, of course, Raw, but then, some sort of other sport action going on. I get way back, 25, 30 years ago, the Monday Night Wars, Raw and Nitro with WCW, but and you're either watching one or the other, if not both. But see what happens here. 4:09 and counting to play here in the Rose Bowl. 2nd and 5, make it 3rd and 2 in Michigan. Wolverines won the Big Ten. Crimson Tide of Alabama won the SEC. So, as Michigan's your number 1 overall seed, as well, undefeated. They actually haven't lost since lost in the playoff last year against TCU. Lost the year prior in the college football playoff, might as well, against Georgia. They haven't been able to get over that hump in the postseason. Washington's 2, Texas 3, and then Alabama's 4. So if you know how a bracket works, because 4 teams, one's going to play 4 and 2's going to play 3. So those are your 2 matchups. Fake the give, looking to throw down the middle. It's tipped and incomplete. So do you go for it? 4th and short in your own territory. Down on the touchdown with 3 minutes to play. I mean, if you don't get it, game's over with. But if you punt, you might not even get the ball back. So they're going to go for it. 4th and 2. Here's your ball game, folks. They're going to motion everybody in from the far side to the line. Out of the gun. Screen in the flat. And he's got green grass in front of him out past midfield. Good block. And then a couple flags. So it's going to be a 1st and 10 for the time being. But it might be coming back. See what the call is. That'd be a big penalty on a play like that, especially in the game that it's coming back. I mean, regardless, he already, and yeah, pissed off, rightfully so. Regardless, if he's already downfield like that, you're having a legal block in the back on Michigan, not a hold. Okay, they will say 1st down. They will give him the yardage. I was going to say, regardless of how the play played out, it's still coming back, but they're going to give him the yardage. It'll be assessed from where the foul occurred, which would be at the 40-yard line, Alabama. Yeah, that's clear and obvious. He just pushed him down, which you can't do, especially not from the back. All right, so 3:05 to play, 1st and 10, Michigan from the midfield again. Empty set. And quarterback draw. 1st down run for 15. That's a late hit out of bounds. Where's the fucking flag for that? I mean, you got back-to-back plays with back-to-back clear and obvious penalties. You call the one, but you don't call the second one. I mean, that's the thing with officiating. Like, I don't have a problem with it if you call it down the middle, but when you don't, it's like, come on, man, what the fuck? That's a 15-yard penalty. That's a late hit. Clearly out of bounds. I mean, he's over the white in the sideline getting tackled, and where's the foul? I'm not rooting for anybody in particular in this game, but still, I mean, that's just, he's fucking refs. Michigan, just like a different Michigan team, if they, get down inside the red zone and score and they want to have somebody report eligible, you might want to make sure your report is eligible to the refs, or else they're going to screw your ass over. Pass over the middle. Michigan does enter the red zone with some yak yards, and now they got a 1st and goal inside the 10. Good catch. Good pass, even better catch. And with under 2 to play, they're knocking on the door looking to tie this game up. And then the question is, what do? Do you kick it? Do you go for it? You kick it. You play on. But knowing what the Detroit Lions did, here's the Michigan Wolverines, of course, same state, being aggressive, being reckless, still getting screwed. Ball was tipped on that pass. That's part why it went a little high, but even better catch, as mentioned, and then, now I got a timeout. So 1st and goal, Michigan coming up. He had a receiver in stride going to the end zone too, my dad. He could have hit him right on the money, but then, you're going to give them the ball back with time, it looks like, anyway. That's why there's a timeout, because Alabama's trying to stop the clock and get the ball back, potentially, if they score. If you, do score here, just kick the extra point. Live to play another down, play on. If they drive and beat you that way, then so be it. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, because you left points off the board earlier with a missed field goal and missed extra point, I might add. Unless this score would be for the lead and potentially the win if you can hold them. But it's only going to now be for the tie. If you do score, kick the extra point. I want to go for 2. I want it 1st and goal from the 5. Handoff. And they have one of the best offensive lines. They have a damn good running game. I mean, truly, unless they're stopping the clock, I'm draining this clock and scoring, and, kicking an extra point and you play on to go to overtime. So, of course, Alabama's going to do their part, do their due diligence, and once again try to get the ball back if they can. Question is, do you let them score, or you try to make the stop? I do the latter. I mean, it's team sport. You don't want to lose, you want to win. Just a little eerie, it does come down to late in the game, a Michigan team, college, NFL, up against a program from the Dallas Cowboys, the Alabama Crimson Tide, that fans despise. And you have, okay, you score. Do you kick the extra point? Do you, go for 2? The other night it was go for 2 a few times, and there's penalties, and then you still don't get it, and you end up losing. 2nd and goal, they fake the run, walks in on the pass, touchdown. Extra point away from a tie ball game at 20 with 1:04 to go in the Rose Bowl. Kick the extra point, get a stop on defense, and go to overtime. Becky Lynch, in the meantime, gets beat by Nia Jax to begin Monday Night Raw. So she's getting booed out of the building, and rightfully so. That's a minute 34, minute and a half. Extra point, up and good. We're tied at 20 in the Rose Bowl with a minute and a half to play. So Alabama's going to get the ball back. Field goal wins it. Touchdown easily does it. But, I mean, I'm planning to kick the field goal and win it. If I'm Nick Saban in Alabama. I mean, you can't really control with them calling the timeouts, as we're running out of real estate, and you got a 1st and goal, 2nd and goal, you end up scoring that, you left them too much time on the clock to, get the ball back and score themselves. But then it circles back to they left points off the board if Michigan loses this game. They did. And remember, missed that field goal just a little bit ago, missed the extra point earlier, or else they'd have 4 more. It's 24-20. Alabama definitely needs a touchdown then to win it, Like, that might come back to bite Michigan in the ass if they do end up losing this game. Like, say Alabama kicks game-winning field goal 23-20. So, we'll see here what happens. A couple weeks ago on Raw, Shinsuke Nakamura was reading The American Nightmare Before Christmas. As, of course, live right now in the WWE Monday Night Raw, him and Cody Rhodes have sort of been going at it. Technically haven't had a, one-on-one match in a position in which, there's a lot of eyeballs on it. I mean, they're both going to be in the Royal Rumble match, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, the one-on-one might come in the Elimination Chamber. They might do it. Hey, for all we know tonight, if didn't already make that announcement, I didn't know about it. But, at some point in time in the near future on a Raw. But I mean, it's a good feud. It's getting them both by, for the time being. But we'll see what happens. 1st and 10 Alabama from the 25-yard line with minute 34. And we're tied at 20 in the Rose Bowl. Field goal wins the game. Michigan's defense been able to get after Bama, though, today, I might add. Tackle after about a 7-yard pickup. So we'll see what happens. I mean, there's a lot of talk that neither of these teams really deserve to be in the playoff, just because of the sign stealing scandal that's been going on in Ann Arbor, and then even though Alabama won the SEC, defeating the back-to-back reigning defending national champs and the Georgia Bulldogs, Cody's and AJ Styles and a few others, Georgia Bulldogs I might add, as they'll go to commercial break. And we're kicking off WWE New Year's week here in 2024 with a lot of product. And here we are for day one on Monday Night Raw. And of course, be sure to tune back in on Friday for New Year's Revolution on SmackDown. But as I'll have live watch on interaction with that. But yeah, let me talk to you. One epic week, the New Year's Knockout Week is what they're technically calling it. It's, every day this week something new. But even with, having a undefeated ACC champion, Florida State, and then they got the absolute piss knocked out of them in their defeat the other day in the Orange Bowl. Georgia actually scoring the most points ever in an Orange Bowl, and also winning the bowl game by the largest defeat ever, by the most points in bowl game history. So, said beforehand, they want to prove everybody wrong that they deserve to be in. Florida State, that is, will go out and fucking win. Well, they got their ass kicked. So, and I said a month ago, whenever the playoff was announced, they got the 4 teams right. Look, here we are, tied at 20 with under a minute to play. And, I mean, so here's your ball game. It's 4th down Alabama. You're not kicking a field goal because you're not in field goal range, but you don't really want to go for it on 4th and 4 and not get it. They got a short field, easy field goal for them, wins it. Nick Saban's probably going to punt here and play field position, hope to get a stop on defense. If Michigan drives and kicks a field goal themselves, touchdown, they win it, okay. But you live to, play another down once again, and if you're Alabama, you're just hoping for overtime at this point. You are. As they will punt. And it's probably the right call. So, we'll see here. I mean, it's really now or never for Michigan. I mean, if they get the ball back here, which they are, 4th and 4, of course, just don't jump off sides, but or do anything stupid in general. They had a muff punt, I might add, earlier too, but you know, their back's been up against the wall in these playoff games, and they've been on the losing end. Now they're going to have a chance to drive and kick game-winning field goal, score, and win this game to get to the national championship game. Play the winner of this will play the winner of the Sugar Bowl later on with Texas and Washington. That game's in a week. Another muff punt after a fair catch. Oh my God. Down at the 1. How the hell do you not realize to just let that go? Let it bounce. Get a touchback. Luckily, I mean, well, yeah, he's signaled a fair catch, muffed it, he's got to recover it. Luckily, he wasn't tackled in the end zone, or else that'd be a safety, and then what a way to end this game. I mean, they're going to be taking a look at that. Yeah, he was never in the end zone. He's down at the 1 there, and then they tackle him. Even though they tackle him in the end zone, they'll give him forward progress at the 1 yard line. So that's just stupidity. You got to know where you're at and, you know, what the situation is. Like, how fucking stupid could you be? And now they got to get breathing room. They got to go 99 yards in 44 seconds, even though we're tied at 20. But, yeah, just don't take a safety. Hand off. You get some breathing room. But, I mean, I don't even think Michigan's going to be in a hurry to do anything. I think we're going to be going to overtime here with Alabama and Michigan on the Rose Bowl. Because if you're Michigan, you don't want to do anything stupid. You know, throw a pick six or, you know, strip sack, and, you know, they recover in the end zone, touchdown, the game is over. Like, yeah, this Rose Bowl, Alabama and Michigan's going to overtime, tied at 20. It's 13-10 at halftime. Saban's actually going to call timeout. Actually, the clock's still rolling. Yet, they gave them the timeout, and they're coming on for subs, yet the clock's still ticking. So do they give them the timeout with about 15 seconds or not? Or do they just, all right, fuck it, neither team's doing anything, and we're just, all right, running off and going to live the play on into OT. 12 seconds, all right. So Cody Rhodes, in the meantime, makes his entrance on Monday Night Raw. Looks like he's going to be in action. They might be doing that Rhodes Nakamura match next, for all we know. He's in ring gear. He's ready to fight. You can tell when he's going to be talking versus when he's, you know, going to be wrestling. Michigan got lucky there. I mean, they'd be winning right now. They'd you know, force Alabama on that 4th and 4 to go for it other than punt, you know, because it'd be down. Like, they got to, you know, continue the drive, get a stop there, ball game. You know, if they have, remember, the missed field goal, well, just the missed extra point. I mean, then it's 21-20, not 24-20. Even if you know, do or don't have the field goal, then they're just gonna take a knee. Yeah, we're going to overtime, the Rose Bowl. Alabama and Michigan tied at 20, and the granddaddy of them all. And honestly, couldn't have asked for, you know, better first 4 quarters and 60 minutes of play. I mean, we'll see how much the overtime rules come into play in this college football playoff. Well, another timeout. So pettiness, however you want to put it. But we're still going to be going to overtime. Yeah, we're still going to be going to overtime here. Alabama's in their first Rose Bowl since they won the national championship out in Pasadena at the, yeah, what do you guys want to talk about? Well, college football playoff, Cody Rhodes. Wrestling's on the back burner still. So, yeah, end of regulation. We're going to overtime the Rose Bowl, tied at 20 with Alabama and Michigan. We're going to play a 5th quarter, get into the overtime rules in a minute. But, yeah, Alabama's playing the first Rose Bowl since they won the national title game against Texas, January of 2010 after the 2009 season in Saban's 3rd year in Tuscaloosa. Michigan's first Rose Bowl in over 18 years. So, of course, they won the 97 national title, split with Nebraska as co-national champs 25 years ago, but the Rose Bowl appearances that they've had since, they've come up short. But we're going to play on. Yeah, special teams key. I mean, he once again have a missed extra point and a missed field goal, unless you won in regulation there. But if everything else goes the way it did, but no, overtime rules now in college football. It's not like the NFL, they're going to change because of the college football playoffs. It's still the overtime rules. Old overtime rules in college football used to be okay. First overtime, second overtime, third overtime, you got to go for 2, and then you just, play on from there. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, overtime, etc., etc. Still just, if you score, you go for 2. So they'll have a coin toss. Whoever wins the coin toss should defer, say they want to play defense first, because then you'll know what you have to get to win. First overtime is just like normal play, in football. Start at 25-yard line now. Second overtime, if you get that far, you switch ends. Go from one end zone to the next. But now it's in the second overtime, as the overtime rules switched a few years ago. And then Penn State, Illinois in 21 went the distance in the longest college football game ever in history with a 9 overtime game. As Shinsuke Nakamura pops up on the screen, and we'll talk to Cody Rhodes. But now in the second overtime, if you score, you got to go for 2, okay? But then from the third overtime on, it's just 2-point plays until somebody wins. And, at least this game, as it would be in the NFL, minus the NFL playoffs, like, you're not going to have somebody tie then. That's why the NFL, in the regular season, the overtime rule is after 10 minutes of play, nobody's won it, ends in a tie. But no, college football, I have a coin toss here. If you win it, you should defer, because then you'll be on defense. You'll know what you need to get then. The coin, the same coin they used earlier, whatever logo comes up, heads or tails, face up on the turf, is the winner of the toss. Alabama won the coin toss earlier, deferred their option, their choice, the second half. Kicked off, Michigan got the ball to begin the game, Alabama got the ball to begin the second half, even though they trailed 13-10, but they, remember, controlled the second half. Michigan tied it at 20, now we're in overtime. So, yeah, if you win the coin toss, play defense. And so Alabama's won the toss once more. We'll see who's on offense and defense here in a second, but no, it's truly, you play defense, which they will. Michigan's going to be on offense here. They're warming up. Ted Nugent going to be snapping the ball. But yeah, you score, the other team has 25 yards to match it. The second overtime, if it's still tied at the end of the first overtime, you score, you got to go for 2. Third overtime, it's just 2-point plays. So Alabama won the toss. They're on defense. Michigan, 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line, right to left across your television screen right now, dial, marching into their end zone here in OT in the Rose Bowl, tied at 20. And we'll get a handoff, good blocking, and about an 8-yard run. So second and short. See what happens on this next play. Got the New Day coming out. So that tag team match they advertised a little bit ago. Kofi Kingston of the New Day, and then Yeet, Jey Uso teaming up to take on Imperium. So, I mean, all right, Raw off to say probably below average start at this rate. Michigan first down, make it a touchdown run, so they extend their lead in overtime on Alabama in the Rose Bowl. They'll promote the Royal Rumble. Michigan will, I would think, kick an extra point, as they're saying, "Go Blue, hail to the victors, champions of the West." And then Alabama's going to have, 25 yards to score themselves, tie it up to force a double overtime. Of course, you still go down, 4 plays and move on from there. Extra point by Michigan up and good. Wolverines lead the tie 27-20 in the first overtime. Alabama getting the ball. Yeet, yeet, yeet. It's main event Jey Uso. Yeet. He's been down since you know when. So I'll go to commercial break. 2 runs on 2 plays and a touchdown for Michigan, and they have the lead in overtime. Ground and pound, old school football. Run it. Damn good defense, and now Alabama first and 10 to the 25-yard line. Out of the gun, they're going to throw. Dump off. No gain on the play as he gets out of bounds. Of course, there's no time in overtime. It's just the play clock. So they'll wind that. But Alabama's 2nd and 10. They got 3 downs, basically, at this point. 2nd, 3rd, 4th down, they convert. Officially 2nd and 9, they say. Turnover ends the game, too, I might add. And a quarterback draw. 15, 10, 1st and goal at the 8. So now they got 4 downs to score with the 1st and goal coming up. And they'd kick the extra point. They want to go for 2 and be stupid about it because you don't need to go for 2 just yet until the 2nd overtime. But just imagine if this game goes to 3rd overtime and beyond, and then, neither team's able to convert 2-point plays on how bad the discussion will be on, the overtime rules in college football need to change. Well, yeah, no shit. I've been trying to tell you that for a couple years since I had to witness the 9 overtime game. 1st and goal, no gain on the play on the run, 2nd down. With WWE Monday Night Raw, the Day 1 special at commercial break with a tag team match coming up next. Second and goal, Alabama. They're going into Michigan's end zone too, so right into their fan base with the band and all. Alabama on their road whites, Michigan their home maize and blue uniforms. Tackle for loss in the backfield. That's what defense wins you championships. 3rd and goal from the 15. Remember, Alabama had a 4th and goal from the 31-yard line in the Iron Bowl at Auburn the same night as WWE Survivor Series right after Thanksgiving. And they needed to score to win the game, and they did. But 3rd and goal from the 14. You got 2 plays to tie it up. Or else it's ball game. Michigan wins. Pass caught at the 3, but he's going to be brought down. As it looked like he was going to step out of bounds, but then he stayed in, and he's wrapped up. So here's your ball game, folks. 4th and goal, Alabama from the 3-yard line, needing a touchdown to continue this game. And with the kicking issues, already, got an injured player in the meantime. Looks like a pulled hamstring. You know, don't take for granted that you're going to make the extra point because you can still miss and then the game ends that way, you know. But yeah, catch made. Looked like he was going to step out. That's probably where he pulled his hammy on that wrap up right there. And CM Punk will return next week on Raw. Why is he on tonight? You know, I mean, it's a day one special, for God's sake. You think you'd want him to have him on. So Punk returns next week on Raw. And they're still yeet, 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 yeet with Jey Uso during the whole entire commercial break on Raw. Back to the tag team match coming up. But here's your ball game. 4th and goal for Alabama from the 3-yard line. They need to score a touchdown to continue this game. First double overtime, or else Michigan wins. And then Michigan awaits either Texas or Washington to face off in the national championship game next week. So we'll see what they draw up. Fourth and goal. Here we go. From the 3-yard line. Here's your ball game. Timeout, Michigan. Two of the all-time winningest programs in college football history. They actually rank 1-2 all time, with 1,002 for the Wolverines and 965 for the Crimson Tide. 4th and goal from the 3 in overtime to, you know, continue on if you score. And if not, Michigan wins. Yeah, just down to the wire, you know, line of scrimmage. Alabama has to score. Remember, they had a 4th and goal at Auburn. From the 31, they scored. You know, so why can't they score from the 3? You'd think. But this Michigan defense is damn good. They are, believe me. As Alabama's, you know, offense, defense, special teams, damn good as well. I mean, their kicker with the all-time points record in college football history himself. Not got another timeout. Now it's just back and forth, you know, who's playing chess and who's playing checkers. Making sure everybody's set and you're okay with the play call. As Sugar Bowl is underway, so they'll take us from that, or from this to that after this game wraps up. But in the meantime, yeah. Michigan needs to stop, and Alabama needs a touchdown to win this game. I mean, like I said, he couldn't have asked for anything else, anything better. So after the 2 timeouts, here's your play, and here's your ball game. 4th and goal, Alabama from the 3. They need to score to continue. Quarterback draw and nothing. They stuff them and Michigan wins. Michigan beats Alabama in the Rose Bowl, and they're now going to await either Texas or Washington in 1 week's time to play for the national championship. 3rd time went to charm for the Wolverines. Remember, they lost to Georgia 2 years ago in the Orange Bowl, lost to TCU last year in the Fiesta Bowl, both in the college football playoff semis. But this year they beat Alabama 27-20 in overtime. Took an extra quarter of play. They're going to be questioning that play call for years to come. A quarterback draw into a brick wall. And especially on 4th and goal, and nothing. Stuffed ball game. Michigan, Alabama won. They await once their game next week. Alabama has now lost for the first time in the semifinals since the first year of the college football playoff. They lost to Ohio State. Buckeyes won the national title that year. Final year of the 14 playoff, they lose another Big Ten school in Michigan. Fill in the blank for what's to come next week. We'll see. Be sure to tune back in live here on YouTube then as well for that live watch longer action of college football playoff national championship game. So there's going to be a lot of people saying though, with Michigan winning now, and if they do win the national championship, that because of the sign stealing scandal, that in the long run, all the NCAA is going to do anyway is just going to strip them of the title at the end of the day, and technically say they didn't win even though they did, and then with who came in second wins it, but no, they didn't win it because then they lost. That's only if Michigan wins next week. We'll see. But hey, the Rose Bowl has gone to the Big Ten 3 years straight now, from Ohio State to Penn State to Michigan. And you think Jim Harbaugh's leaving Ann Arbor? I don't fucking think so. So, as a Penn State fan, Big Ten fan, go blue. However, even though, we are, and we still are Penn State. And Michigan's the only team between the three previous Rose Bowl winners to win a bowl game this year. Of course, Ohio State lost Friday night, Penn State lost Saturday, Michigan wins here tonight. But they're going to say job's not done, They still got one more. It'd be something, for the Big Ten to start and finish the 4-team playoff format with national championship wins. Potentially against a Pac-12 school as well if Washington beats Texas here in the Sugar Bowl coming up. So, post-game, Michigan defeats Alabama. And Sugar Bowl coming up next. WWE Night Raw continues though. It is the day one special. We got a tag team match right now with Yeet, Jey Uso. Of course, they have his shirt blurred out for the copyright. Him and Kofi taking on Imperium in a tag team match here. We'll see who the former WWE champion is that they've said is returning this evening. Why the hell is the bell rung? Is he hurt? They throw out the X. Alright, this match is over with because of an injury. They've blown it dead, if you will, called it off. And it's going to be Jey Uso and Kofi Kingston winning. They could turn it into a singles match. I mean, they're just trying to improvise in the moment live in the ring right now. Who knows what happened, but it looks like he got hurt because they rang the bell and he rolled out and he's done. So this match is over with. So now they're just trying to buy some time and figure out what the hell to do. So, referee stoppage because of an injury. Main event, Jey Uso and Kofi Kingston. Yeet are your winners. So hopefully he's okay. Of course, never want to see him get hurt, but here's a replay. Maybe, drop kick to the chest. He might hit his head. Yeah, and then he's like, where am I? He's probably concussed with a concussion. So, all right, we'll see what they now do next. Ten minutes to the top of the hour, 9 o'clock. They bring up the holiday tour for the WWE this past week as the stars were out, to say the least. You had one in New York, one in Detroit, and one in Houston that came to the party. Starting the new year with a bang. Yeah, they're showing off. This is odd. You don't really see this. That they promoting, hey, this is what happened at a house show. Whether it's the holidays or not. Like, now into 2024, I mean, Triple H has been in charge now for a little over 2 years. And Kevin Dunn is no longer with the company, backstage either, I might add. You know, obviously things are changing. So, yeah, it's a little odd that they're showing off highlights from the house shows this past week. And now Miz says he's awesome. Seems like we're just getting from one match to the next to the next to the next. It does feel like a pay-per-view. I mean, it is a day one special, trying to make it a pay-per-view-esque type show, but this first hour has been, you know, really below average, to be honest with you. It'll be Miz TV with the Judgment Day coming up next, but Miz with Miz TV in ring gear. This is going to turn into some sort of match against who, whether it be, you know, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, JD Devlin, or JD McDonough, Jordan Devlin. Who knows? Maybe Miz faces Rhea Ripley, and Rhea kicks his ass. I think we'd all probably love to see that. Miz had some fun with his big balls as ornaments and decorations for Christmas recently as well. I mean, Miz, yeah, he is awesome. Met him at a Texas Roadhouse way back when. But Michigan to celebrate this Rose Bowl win, defeating Alabama 27-20 in overtime. What I said with the Sugar Bowl underway, it doesn't seem like that game's kicked off yet. We're still live on ESPN. They haven't told us, hey, this game's underway on a different channel right now if you want to go over and watch it. They're probably holding off till 9 o'clock, and then do the post-game celebration here. Michigan's going to say, yeah, go blue, hell to the victors. Now with the Big Ten having 3 straight Rose Bowl winners, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, they're the champions of the West. Out in Pasadena, California, granddaddy of them all. Winning their first Rose Bowl since they won the national title in '97, I might add, too. But yeah, once again, they'll say job's not done. They ain't finished yet, you know. It's Michigan against everybody. You know, that Ohio versus the world mantra, they switched it up. But, yeah, they still got one more game after this, though. We play another Texas or Washington. And either or, I mean, it's going to be a damn good game.
In the world's worst places, children with cleft conditions live in darkness and shame.
So,
that takes as little as 45
yeah, just waiting kickoff now, the Sugar Bowl.
change a child's life forever. Please call, scan, or
And we'll go from there.
give a new smile. Thousands of children waiting.
See what happens next year on Raw. As we know, it's Miz TV with the Judgment Day, but it's going to turn into a match. It's just, once again, who's it against. So,
Tom blew up our lives. This is bullshit. It's over. I miss who he used to be to me.
I ate out the Shima like nuggets. I don't even know that.
What? My feelings never mattered to you. Never know what happened? There's no much. You're a bit much all the time. Tom, I'm trying to help. This is my life. You are terrifying. Are you ready?
yep, ready to get back to action. It's being promoted as WWE Monday Night Raw Day 1. I mean, this is something they could do every few years. I mean, that was the talk a couple years ago when they had a Day 1 pay-per-view, for God's sakes. You know, and that's really when they, around the time at least, they started the Saturday pay-per-views. And they could have done it last year as well, but they didn't. Chose not to. And now here we are for Monday Night Raw Day 1. Like, they could have done 3 years in a row with it. I mean, you could do it NXT Day 1 next year. Actually, no, you can't, because you'll have leap year this year. So next year, New Year's will be on a Wednesday, as it was in 20 before COVID hit. AEW was live that night. I remember that because I streamed that. I mean, but no, yeah. I mean, because they had New Year's Revolution back when. They're bringing that back for SmackDown this week, doing Day 1 on January 1st here tonight for Raw. Just lands on a Monday. It just depends on, you know, when the holiday is, what else is going on, and what they got going on to begin with. But like, they can do it every once in a while. They can't really do it all the time. I think they're in a tough spot in that regard. Like football, you know, January 1, regardless of the day of the week, it's going to be on. And like with the NFL on Christmas last week, they can, you know, play on Christmas every day other than Tuesday and Wednesday, you know, because they play Thursday, they played Fridays before. Of course, they play Saturday, Sunday, Mondays. But actually, now it's going to be Rhea Ripley and Ivy Nile for the Raw Women's World Championship. Didn't they promote Natalya earlier? Like, what the hell happened with Natalya and Ivy Nile? Who knows? Who really cares? I mean, Rhea's still retaining anyway. But now Miz TV with the Judgment Day. So he says Happy New Year, and of course when my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut. Welcome to Miz TV. But yeah, he's in ring gear. It's Miz TV on Monday Night Raw Day 1. A lot of rumors of former WWE champion showing up later tonight, returning. We'll see who that is. Yeah, there's, you know, possibilities here and there. We'll see who it is. But he's going to have the Judgment Day. And it's going to turn into a match. Versus who? Who knows? We're going to see. So here comes the Judgment Day. And we'll go to the other side. So Michigan once again wins Rose Bowl 27-20 over Alabama in overtime. And kickoff coming up next with Texas and Washington, the Sugar Bowl. Steve Sarkisian Bowl. He was a former UW head coach, left for USC after Lane Kiffin was fired. Of course, Kiffin took the SC job. What the fuck? All right. What's up? And R-Truth, yeah, we'll get back to the Sugar Bowl here in a minute. We got to talk about this TV with the Judgment Day. Well, it's R-Truth coming out. As it was a joke a few weeks back that R-Truth was the newest member of the Judgment Day after a win. So what's up in the new year? The most likable member of Judgment Day, R-Truth. This is hilarious. He's wearing a Judgment Day shirt. Finn and Damien and Rhea and Dirty Dom, and of course Jordan Devlin, JD McDonough. But he swears they're all behind him coming out. Are you seeing invisible people again? Yeah, little Jimmy, where you at? But he has an R-Truth name tag. Yeah, little Jimmy must be here. Miz says no, he's not. So, all right, maybe no Judgment Day at all, and it's going to be Miz and R-Truth. That's the Judgment Day on Miz TV. All rise for the Judgment Day. Good God. R-Truth's a fucking national treasure. Yeah, it does. So, what's his role? Glad you asked. R-Truth says he has many roles in the Judgment Day. Let's hear him. He's doing PR work. Last work, he's doing administrative work. Remember, he won a match to get into the Judgment Day on a comedic side. Technically never in, but he's in. And now here comes McDonough and Mysterio. This is going to turn into a tag team match. It's going to be Miz and R-Truth taking on them. So Judgment Day not going to be on Miz TV. Well, you're out there right now. Dom's getting booed out of the damn building. They absolutely hate his ass. He says we are the most dominant faction, the Judgment Day. Can't hear you, Dom. Yeah, especially San Diego, too, booing his ass out of the building. I mean, they're in the 619 where Ray's from. Dom was raised. And, yeah, he's getting booed out of the building in his own hometown. Vince McMahon would be loving that. And neither are you, Truth. Yeah, loser leaves Judgment Day, and R-Truth won. He does make a valid point. He did lose. Why are you still here? Yeah. Tom's getting booed again. Talk about losers, says Dom. And he's talking in Spanish with them. Let's talk about Miz and his year. Who cares about 2023? Let's move on to 2024. If this ain't piped in, these are real fucking boos. Believe me. If you don't believe they are, I mean, they are. Talk about heel heat. He's got it. And it's had it. Miz apologizes. Yeah. Yeah. Microphone in hand, can't hear you either way because everybody's booing his ass. Miz is saying he's more relevant now than he's ever been. He's been, yeah, around. He's a company guy. He's Dom getting spanked. And then, of course, Mommy Ripley. No, Miz is reliable. He is. He has to do something. He's going to do it. Dom says he's done. Well, all right, you're done then. Shut the hell up. He says he's done talking. Well, he hasn't even said much because he's getting booed. Yet he's still talking. Kicks the chair out of the way. All right, they're proposing a tag team match. It'll be Miz and R-Truth of the Judgment Day up against Dom Mysterio and JD McDonough of the Judgment Day. Awesome Truth tag team on Raw Day 1. Truth says, hold up a minute. What? I'm in Judgment Day. I can't be fighting my own guys. I'm not tagging with him. I'm not tagging with him. Miz trying to tell him, you're not tagging with him. You're tagging with me. This is a tag team test. I'll follow your lead. I'll follow your lead, and we'll take out Miz. It's a 3-on-1 handicap match, says R-Truth, rather than just a tag team match. Good fucking God. We accept, he says. And then Miz with a clothesline. Dom standing there for R-Truth. But remember, Truth is teaming with Miz. Yeah, Jesus Christ, this is hilarious. So they'll fade to black and go to break. We'll get back to it. Tag team match coming next. So that was the Judgment Day on Miz TV. It was R-Truth coming out. They have fun with it, and rightfully so. And then out come the real Judgment Day. Not the tag team champs of Finn Balor and Damian Priest, who's still Mr. Senor Money in the Bank. Let alone Rhea Ripley as the women's World Heavyweight Champion on Raw. She's still got a title defense later on. As they preview SmackDown, this upcoming Friday will be a New Year's Revolution. They'll have a triple threat match to determine the number one contender for Roman Reigns' Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship at the Royal Rumble. So be sure to tune back in live here on YouTube on Friday for live watch reactions to WWE Friday Night SmackDown, New Year's Revolution, as it's WWE Monday Night Raw Day 1 tonight. Yeah, that was funny. That was. So yeah, tag team match coming up next. And when we come back, rather than once again Miz TV with the Judgment Day, out comes R-Truth as he's in the Judgment Day, as he thinks he is. Yeah, comedy angle. Out comes the real Judgment Day. Good tag team match. So now they'll start to pick up the pace since the Rose Bowl's over with. Sugar Bowl just began. Raw will be over by the time this game is over with at 11 o'clock. So, yeah. The WWE with Monday Night Raw now for day 1, they can do what they want when they want at this rate. They don't have to, pinpoint here and there when they want to do stuff on the fly, rather than normally having a, set, all right, this is what's going on tonight. But tag team match coming up next when we come back. As I was saying with the Sugar Bowl, Texas, Washington, yeah, they obviously pushed the kick time back to about 9 o'clock. So we just got underway a couple minutes ago. Washington's got a first and going out the 2-yard line after a big explosive play just now. But this is the Sugar Bowl, the second semifinal. Winner of this now to play Michigan in the national championship game now next week. Touchdown in the meantime. But no, yeah, this is really the Steve Sarkisian Bowl. Former head coach at UW, is currently at Texas. But he took over for Lane Kiffin after Kiffin was fired on Tarmac LAX. Remember, Kiffin took over for Pete Carroll when he went to the Seattle Seahawks. They lost yesterday to the Steelers. But yeah, Kiffin was fired. Stark left Washington for USC, where he was an assistant, also under Pete Carroll, as Lane Kiffin was. So they go back. SC went back to back with former assistants to try to, get the ship steered in the right direction, which they had it going. Sark was then fired by SC. Went to Alabama, assistant under Nick Saban, and then he took the Texas job. Of course, SC in the meantime, they then went from Clay Helton to Lincoln Riley. And now they're going to the Big Ten, as Washington is too, along with Oregon and UCLA, and Texas going to the SEC. So no Texas-Alabama rematch from earlier this year in the national championship game. Michigan beats Bama 27-20 once again in overtime in the Rose Bowl. They await the winner of Texas-Washington, and the Huskies just scored, so it's 7-0, and the Horns will be getting the ball here. Delusional R-Truth teaming with the Miz in a tag team match up against the Judgment Day, but R-Truth thinks he's still a member of the Judgment Day. So, I mean, from the Judgment Day corner to Miz's corner with R-Truth, yeah, R-Truth doesn't know what team he's on, but yeah, Miz went for a tag, and then Truth ain't there because he's in the wrong fucking corner. And then Miz can't make the tag. And now Judgment Day in control. Judgment Day of Dom and McDonough. Yeah. Truth is R-Truth. It's absolutely hilarious. They brought up little Jimmy earlier, but yeah, he's a imaginary member of the Judgment Day. And thinks he's tagging with him right now, but he's not. Miz points, tag in. And now let's see what he does up against his partner in the Judgment Day. I mean, it does hit him with a leg drop, so all right, he will fight up against him. And he says, "What's up?" So the tag team match here, yeah. If I'd have to guess, yeah, Miz and Truth will win this. I mean, they did have Nia Jax beat Becky Lynch earlier. They had a referee stoppage in the tag team match because of an injury, so who knows who would have won that. But, I mean, the heels have been on top tonight. They have. Because, I mean, you even had Shinsuke talk down Cody Rhodes. So, Truth going to tag in Dominic, even though he's not his tag team partner. Miz is. But once again, Truth still thinks he's a part of Judgment Day, but he's not. But that's what makes it funny. So, all right, yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Leave it at that. Dom with a 619 as they go to break. Split screen. Get back to the action shortly. So, kickoff returned. to about 25-yard line. And we'll leave it at that. See what happens here. I think I'd see The Undertaker tonight, but they showed a recap of him presenting the MVP trophy a month ago as the WWE sponsored the Big 12 Conference Championship game. Of course, he's a Texas Longhorn fan, so I'm sure he was happy about that they won, and then he's the one giving out the trophy. But yeah, to see that, and of course Monday Night Raw's on. It was day one. And, I mean, it seems like, they're going to wait to the end for the former WWE World Heavyweight Champion. That could be anybody. It truly could. Could be anybody. Return tonight. I mean, technically, I don't think it was anybody that we've already seen thus far. It's still going to, be later on tonight at some point in time. With also still to come, the two things they had advertised, and those are the two World Heavyweight Championship matches for the men and women, respectively, with Rhea Ripley. And it was Natalya, but now it's Ivy Nile, and then Rollins and McIntyre. So, yeah. That's that. Okay, so they're starting to pick up the pace. I mean, it's been an okay show, nothing special. I mean, yeah, this is probably the best part with what Truth was just doing. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens, and I'll leave it at that. There's nothing much else to be said. Take it as it comes here. Just as always, once again, thanks for tuning in and watching. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe to social media. Links in the description below. Thumbs up button, share, and chat questions and comments, super chat, super sticker, super like, super thanks. Always great appreciated as well. Cross body cover, 1, 2, kick out. And second down from the 20. Knocking on the door, looking to tie this game up. First down run now inside the 10. First and goal. Truth wants to tag in. He's in the Judgment Day's corner wanting to tag in Miz. But remember, it's Miz and Truth as he's in the Judgment Day, but he's technically not. Thinks he is, but he's not. Up against Dom Mysterio, and then that's a botched headbutt from Jordan Devlin, JD McDonough, who does have a banger of an entrance song. And yeah, Truth just tagged in. And now Truth gonna take on the Miz. What the fuck is going on? Alright, if you're with us, do it. Beat him up. Oh, he says he's sorry, Miz. Miz is gonna duck. Yeah, Devlin gets punched. And Miz kicking Dom out of the ring. And into the skull-crushing finale. Cover, 1, 2, 3. So Miz and R-Truth of the Judgment Day, even though he was on both teams, they win this tag team match on Monday Night Raw. Texas with a touchdown. They're an extra point away from tying this game up. I mean, earlier, as mentioned once again, the line of scrimmage, this to shootout. I mean, it was from a wacky start to a crazy finish in overtime, of course, in the Rose Bowl. But they were also tied at 7. And then you get to, 13-10 halftime. Alabama controlled the second half. Michigan should have really won it in regulation, to be honest with you. They missed a couple kicks, plus points off the board, but then they still won it in overtime. So, yeah. Winner of this takes on Wolverines next week once again in the national title game. Texas sort of has home field too, I might add. I mean, playing in their backyard for the semifinal, if they win, they're definitely playing in their backyard for the national title game. And, from Austin, Texas, New Orleans, and Austin, Texas to Houston, Texas, for God's sakes. I mean, you're right there when Michigan had to go out to Pasadena, Alabama, the same. So you're out west. Washington had to travel from, Seattle to New Orleans. And, yeah, just Texas, I mean, if they have home field, they do. Some highlights from a couple weeks ago. Now, a women's tag team celebration of some sorts. This is like movie, TV show-esque. So, from one women's match to kick off the show, it looks like we're going to have another. It'll be in the tag team division, potentially with the tag team titles on the line. Champagne to the eyes, yeah, that's going to burn. I doubt it was actually champagne, it was probably water. So, from that to this, with no crowd reaction, it's Ivy Nile. So the Rhea Ripley, Ivy Nile championship match coming up next. Of course, yeah, she's part of Diamond Mine with the Creed brothers, amateur style tag team. So she's replacing Natalia. They had her in the graphic earlier. Now it's Ivy Nile. This, and then the only other thing we know of is Rollins and McIntyre. Rhea ain't losing, so, what's the point other than just have a match? So they go to commercial break. Remember, Roderick Strong was a member of Diamond Mine back in the day. Now he's a devil in disguise with Adam Cole, the rest of the Kingdom, and Wardlow. One of Cole's masked men, as Adam Cole is revealed as the devil in AEW at the end of World's End Saturday night after MJF lost the World Heavyweight Championship to Samoa Joe. So, kickoff, touchback, we're tied at 7. We'll keep tabs on this game. See what happens here. Just back and forth with everything going on. But yeah. They got time to kill. They do. I mean, you're looking at halfway through the show. Got this match coming up. You're probably gonna have, after this match, maybe 3 more things before the main event. Definitely 2. Maybe 3. And then the main event with Rollins and Nakamura, it seems like, unless that's, gonna be after this or sometime before the main event and then something else is the main event. Don't know. Really don't know. See how it plays out. Of course, still have the return that they've been promoting. Whoever that could be beats me. We'll see. I mean, you could try to figure it out. I'm sure there's spoilers out there. I know there's stuff said throughout the day. Just because of this or that, they're trying to connect the dots. But then you know how WWE is. They're still going to do what they want anyway. They're going to throw your curveball, swerve you, and same point in time though, you go back potentially to start. Yeah, okay, then that's right from the get-go then. But yeah, you have that as well with this match coming up, the Rollins McIntyre title match, and then a returning WWE World Heavyweight Champion. That whether he's or she's been or not been in the company and God knows how long, who knows? It's just a former WWE World Heavyweight Champion is returning tonight. So, like I said, that could be anybody. And from hints to just people trying to, pull shit out of their hat and make something out of nothing. You know how the media is with stories. It's a buzz, get people talking. I mean, they bought into, okay, yeah, this is true. Just be sure to tune in and watch. And then, yeah, it gives you a bigger reason to watch them. So, see what happens. I'll leave it at that. Once again, not much else to be said. So, yeah, leave it at that. It could be like a jaw-dropping, like, oh my god, holy shit, like, seriously. Or it could be seriously, are you fucking joking type of return, like, that nobody cares about. It's gonna be one or the other, not nowhere in between, I don't think. So they've had a lot of people come back recently that a lot throughout time that probably never would have thought whoever it was that has returned would be back at this point in time. But hey, hell's froze over, and here we are. So they have day one on Raw tonight, NXT New Year's Evil tomorrow. AEW had a New Year's Smash last week, of course, World's End as well, and then WWE bringing back New Year's Revolution as well for SmackDown this week. So, yeah, we'll see at the end of the week which show was better. But video package here. And Rhea Ripley about to defend against Ivy Nile, and she ain't losing. She's not going to be, there's not going to be a title change. She'll walk out with her title, one way or another, whether it's by pinfall, submission, disqualification of some sorts. Rhea Ripley will still continue to be the Women's World Champ on Raw after tonight, no doubt about it. And I think I'd be surprised, everybody else would be surprised, like, Rhea's in a situation, as this is her brutality, like, there's nobody that's going to beat her. Right now there isn't. Like, she's just going to keep winning and winning and winning. And I mean, the fans love her. She's a fan favorite. And I mean, people have compared her to China before. For the type of character she has, and she technically really hasn't wrestled men, but she could if she wanted to, so yeah, Rhea Ripley title defense next, but nothing's gonna change. Like, overall, the whole entire show could just be a buzz to get people to tune in, some ratings. Like, yeah, they want eyeballs on their product versus, you know, they're doing a day one Monday Night Raw tonight because of the college football playoff. They are. And just, you know, every few years, once again, New Year's, yeah, no doubt about it, it's going to fall on Monday. Like last week's Raw, last week's SmackDown for that matter, they weren't live. It was a best of for the whole entire year. Like they'd even pre-tape, you know, an episode for the following week to air last week. They just done the best of. And then in the meantime, they can continue their streak. Oh, it's the longest running, you know, television show out there. But women's world championship on Raw, Rhea Ripley and Ivy Nile. So, yeah, we'll see how long this lasts. I could really care less. Let's watch some football. So, 7 apiece with Texas and Washington. Flag on the play. Might be on the defense. Got a hold. I mean, replay it down. Yeah, with the yardage they got. Okay. Bell rings, match underway. For what it's worth, nothing's gonna come out of this though, not unless the return is a woman to take out Rhea Ripley, you know, because like I said, there's really nobody to beat her. There isn't. That's just how dominant she is and has been. So. Another flag on the play, first down pass, but it's probably coming back again. So now the refs are throwing flags every play. Yep, another hold, 10 yards, replay down. Be third and even longer. Those are Big Ten refs for you right there, I'll tell you that much. That's a clear penalty, though. That is. I didn't see the other one without that one. Yeah, that's a hold. So, I mean, they had a first down out past midfield. Now they got a third and 20. Yeah. Handoff on a draw, and they'll just cut their loss and punt. Big boot, but yeah, nice power my ass. I mean, she barely picked her up and body slammed her down to get her out of the ring. Rhea says, "You're kidding me," as they mute her and fade to black and go to a split screen commercial now. So, Marco Polo, but Rhea will fight back and she'll win this. There's no doubt about that.
Why didn't you say anything?
Back into the ring and then right back out in front of the announce table and then slide on the kick and So now they're fighting ringside for what it's worth, but
Found in traditional dish soaps that remove food and grease 5 times faster. And because it cleans so well, you can replace multiple cleaning products for counters, stoves, and even laundry stains. Try Dawn Power Wash Dish Spray. Brain power helping you buy better. There's news. And there's good news. Like thousands of patients receiving free, life-changing surgeries. From volunteer doctors and nurses on hospital ships. All made possible by donations. We love good news. New features in the Weight Watchers app just dropped.
I've lost 60 pounds and I can still enjoy all of the foods that I love. Small changes lead to big results.
Weight Watchers' new app features can make your weight loss journey easier. So all you gotta do is you. Join Weight Watchers today.
A special K is oven toasted to crisp perfection and tossed with yogurt goodness. Oh, some red berries. Special K in so many craveable varieties, so you can think it's delicious.
Stanley Steel is proud to be the leader in deep cleaning, cleaning over 1 million hours in businesses across the world every year. We are more than dirt testing all of your home and business. Stanley Steel.
Right now, get a free football facility. I can do everything you want. Not one football in the app, get one free. Pretty good deal. Everybody like me, order in the Subway application.
Let me ask you. You're using Head and Shoulders, right?
Only when I see flakes. Then I switch back to my regular shampoo.
You should use it every wash. Otherwise, the flakes will come back.
He's right.
Is that Tiny Troy?
The ingredients in Head and Shoulders keep the microbes that cause flakes in. Little rascal. The news. Each of these tiny flakes down here.
I love Tiny Troy and his tiny blue.
He's the best. Make every wash count. Little help, please.
Armageddon is coming up next after Raw, and we have some amazing guests coming through this season.
Football players, music icon, Hollywood actor.
You never know who you're going to bump into in Nashville right here on the Red.
simultaneous returns from 2 commercial breaks to both these events with Monday Night Raw and the Sugar Bowl as the second college football playoff semifinal with Texas and Washington. 7 apiece in the first half, about halfway through, a little over halfway through now, Raw. This day 1 special women's title match on the line.
I'll tell you this, there was an element of hubris when Rhea Ripley coming into this matchup, taking
And Rhea Ripley with Ivy Nile up on her shoulders. She's probably going to slam her down somewhere. Oh shit, says Rhea. They had to bleep her. There's that 7-second delay for you, but she got it reversed, and then Ivy Nile just suplexed Rhea ringside. So, I mean, that had to hurt. I don't care if that's, you know, soft padding or not. That's on the fucking floor. I mean, it's a concrete floor underneath that. So, yeah, suplex ringside. I mean, they're making sure, you know, Ivy Nile's in full control and showcasing her talents, and, you know, she's looking strong, but she's going to get screwed over here one way or another, and Rhea's going to find a way to win and retain. But that's just how this match has the feeling of going. 1, 2, kick out. Deep ball incomplete. They'll be out west and in the Heartland for the next couple weeks before they go down to Florida for the Royal Rumble. Of course, from now until the Royal Rumble, you know, of course, still going to have the Royal Rumble Elimination Chambers, mid to late February. But from the Rumble on, they'll be on the road to WrestleMania, of course, and that's early April. And they are now promoting with the Rollins World Championship match still to come, another women's match. So hopefully the return of a former world champion, big drop kick up top rope, but yeah, whoever that is outweighs really how bad this show's been to this point. Nothing special. Like, you're not missing much if you're not watching Raw tonight. You're not to this point at least. So, yeah, this just, we'll see who the return is, but overall, day one Raw just feels like a ploy for fucking ratings. You may make it a special edition, special episode. Just they're running their business. They're trying to, keep up and, give people something else to watch rather than what else is on. And I get it, but you'd think you'd want to, show out. This show really hasn't been that great. It hasn't been. Everybody has their own opinion. Let me know yours in the comments below, of course. But no, nothing spectacular. But they're making us wait until the end to see who the return's going to be, though, too. That's the other thing. So, yeah, we'll see. But as I was saying, yeah, you got day one Raw tonight. You got the Royal Rumble coming up. You got Elimination Chamber then after that. But, yeah, WWE WrestleMania 40 will be early April. I'll be there, so be sure to keep an eye out for content, for videos, as uploaded some recently. Yeah, that'll be next, about 3 months from now, for the show of shows, WrestleMania. So, of course, would have live watch-along reactions, as I'll have for the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber, but also would have for WrestleMania. But yeah, I'll be there live in attendance, live in living colors. So keep an eye out for content from that weekend, from SmackDown to the Hall of Fame to NXT TakeOver to both nights of WrestleMania, and then of course the Monday Night Raw after Mania. So sure, like, follow, subscribe on social media. Once again, links in the description below. And then as day one will roll on from Monday Night Raw, they'll have a New Year's Revolution on SmackDown this upcoming week on Friday night. So be sure to tune back in live on YouTube then as well for live watch-along reactions of that. Suplex off the top rope. Jesus Christ. Cover. 1, 2. Kick out. Yeah, she ain't losing. That would have been a way to do it, though, let me tell you. I mean, yeah, here's a replay. Suplex off the top rope. Wow. This is awesome. Chant from the crowd. Yeah, no doubt about it. It's probably, yeah, best match of the night thus far. Don't get me wrong. I mean, didn't think it'd be that great, but it's turned into something. Got to give them credit. So, yeah, like I said, after this, probably at least 2 more things before the main event in the next hour. Maybe 3, but it seems like maybe only 2, and then the return would be that third, whoever that is going to be. Rhea retains as expected. She's still the women's world champ on Raw, so see what's next for her. regardless of whoever it is. She ain't losing anytime soon. Because yeah, they announced that other women's tag team match. You got Rollins and McIntyre. Got an hour 15 left of the show, so you try to pinpoint, figure out timeline with what they have advertised. I mean, commercial breaks too. They might add in something. We haven't had any backstage segments today. They haven't. Why? I don't know. I mean, maybe we go to something now, but yeah, and then you'll have that return. Is that gonna be its own segment? If so, that'll be the main event then. You would think so, but now Rollins backstage. He's getting ready, but it doesn't seem like it'll be next. Shouldn't be next. I doubt they'll go back to back with the women's matches, though. So here's the graphic once again with Rollins and McIntyre for the world title here tonight. Yeah, still to come tonight. So that's going to be later on within the next hour. Seemingly the main event, but then former WWE champion appearing next. That'll be next. As Triple H not going to confirm or deny the rumors of the former WWE champion appearing on Raw Day 1, but I will say to stay tuned. So who's it going to be? Hopefully a letdown. I'll say that much. Because like I said, hopefully it's something that way all the negative or how average the show's been. Like I said, you're not really missing much. Same old. Nothing special, nothing spectacular. But that was a good match that we just saw, no doubt about it. But still, so that'll be next, and then they might do something with it, with a promo, with leading to a match, with then the women's tag team match, and then the main event's going to be Rollins and McIntyre for the world titles. So unless they add in something else real quick, that seems to be it tonight. And like I said, seemingly just a fucking ploy to get people to tune in and watch. Like, people are just waiting for this point. If it's bad, channels getting changed. We'll stay on till 11 o'clock, but you get my point. Like, we'll see. I'll leave it at that. Another touchdown in the meantime. Washington retakes the lead, 14-7. They are your Pac-12 champs, as Texas won the Big 12, and then like I said, I thought they got the cultural playoff right. I did. The 1, 2, 3, 4 with Michigan, Washington, Texas, Alabama, and Florida State's play the other day, regardless of who was or wasn't playing. You want to prove everybody wrong. We'll go out and prove them wrong. Then you can go out and win. But they got their ass kicked. Just imagine if that was in the playoff, for God's sakes. Like, because normally the semis are bad. They are. Last year, just saw earlier, here this year too now, that they're good. Whereas, excuse me, before, once again, the semis sucked. The national title game was good. Last year it switched. The semis were good and the national title game sucked. Georgia blew out TCU. They blew out Florida State the other day in Orange Bowl. And then now good semi earlier. We're close here early. See how it plays out. And then we'll see how it plays out next week. So, I mean, it's last year the 14 playoff. Next year goes to 12. You'll have first round games. You'll have quarter semis. And then the national championship game. But just it's college football. It's always going to be must watch, can't miss, excitement, that one or another, it's going to piss you off at the end of the day, if you're not happy about it. But all right, back to Monday Night Raw. Almost 10 o'clock here. They said next was the former WWE champion return. Who's it going to be is the question. As they continue to promote, preview what's to come this week here early in the new year. Happy 2024. So, no, it's not CM Punk. He already came back, but he returns to Raw, they say, next week, as they already promoted earlier. So, I said, I don't get why he's not on the show tonight, but CM Punk returns to Raw next week. Triple H coming out? Actually, here's the return. Can't be more plain. Who's it going to be? And then the crowd's like, oh. We saw R-Truth with the Judgment Day earlier. Here comes Jinder Mahal, the modern day Maharaja. Jinder Mahal is the returning WWE champion. Oh, God. Yeah, he was WWE champion. He beat, remember, Randy Orton at Backlash, got into a big feud with AJ Styles. I actually have a full match video of that in a steel cage. Talking about the holiday shows recently, within the past week, that was at one of those, so be sure to go check it out. It's somewhere on the channel. But yeah, Jinder Mahal. There has to be more to this. There has to be another former WWE champion that's coming out to, you know, go after Jinder, make him shut up and, you know, give the fans what they want. Oh, God. Where the fuck is Veer at? Did he finally come or not? Jinder Mahal is the former WWE champion who has returned to Monday Night Raw this evening on the Day One special. Disappointed? I mean, you could hear a fucking pin drop when he came out. I mean, that gas of, oh, like, seriously, was loud. Like, everybody was, all right, yeah, let's go. And then, like, about ready to, you know, burst in joy, but that had to be one of the most, not necessarily disappointing, but just, I mean, Jinder's awesome, no doubt about it. But just the fan reaction, that had to, like, you know how good they normally are in the big returns? This is on the bottom end of that. So, Jinder's cutting a promo. Somebody has to be coming out. There has to be another former WWE champion that's coming out to Jinder. He says, you people. He's talking about politics and dividing people. Is he going to announce he's running for president? He's not Indian, he's Canadian, by the way, so he still couldn't run for United States president. Look at Schwarzenegger. He couldn't run for president, so he became governor of California. Did the Terminator. He says, USA, USA, USA. He says the United States was once a superpower, now is a joke. He's right about that. Fuck Joe Biden. I mean, he could run for Prime Minister of Canada and go up against Trudeau, but yeah, Jinder's cutting a politic promo on Raw right now. He says, shut your mouth and listen. If you smell, maybe, I mean, it doesn't matter what your name is. Now he's talking in Indian and nobody knows a fucking word he's saying because they're in San Diego, where if it ain't English, it's Spanish. He says, finally, yeah, finally, potentially fill in the blank. Okay, he just said the national anthem in Punjabi. Well, it wasn't 2 minutes. It was like 10 seconds. there has to be more to this. Somebody has to be coming out. And it has to be that former WWE champ returning. Telling you, like, they're not going to let this, be what it is. It's just a setup right to 10 o'clock. Yeah, and crowds on their feet, phones in hand. Somebody's coming out. Who's it going to be?
So once again, I will speak in Punjabi, but this time not about the national anthem. I will tell you what the entire world is thinking about you.
He's going to tell us what the entire world is thinking about the U.S. Well, that it's a dumpster fire the past 4 years. Yeah, no shit. If you smell what The Rock is cooking, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson is back. He made an unexpected return, very much of a surprise on SmackDown back mid-September. And hey, ESPN College Game Day strikes again with The Rock, and WWE being also in the area. Because then it was with Dion in Colorado. He was a special guest picker. SmackDown was in Denver. Of course, Boulder's right down the road the next day. And, well, as Rock bought the XFL and USFL have merged to form the United Football League, the UFL. He's got goosebumps. He says, come here, cameraman, show him off. And he's going to walk to the ring. And The Rock's back. He's on the day one of Monday Night Raw. And yeah, this will most definitely, for sure, no doubt about it, be the best part of the show, have everyone talking. It's going to outweigh everything else that happened, good or bad. And rightfully so. I mean, it's the fucking Rock, for God's sakes. I mean, maybe we'll get some glass shattering in the next couple months, too, for all we know. I mean, we're going to be on the road to WrestleMania 40 here before too long. Didn't see The Rock for 4 years. From right before COVID, it was the first SmackDown on Fox, October 19, up until he just returned a couple months ago, as mentioned. And it just worked itself out. Like, SmackDown once again was in Denver. He was brought in as he's The Rock, but because of Deion Sanders in Colorado, and the campus is in Boulder, Colorado, Boulder, Rock, Pebblestone, however you want to put it, they had The Rock as a special guest picker. I mean, him in Hollywood and, being in Disney movies, Disney owns ESPN. They, regardless of special guest pickers, they had him for that show, okay? Long story short. It just worked itself out. Today, of course, New Year's, Happy New Year. As Jinder's in the ring, Rock comes out, so Jinder's going to know his role here in a minute or two. But, yeah, Rock yesterday actually on Fox for NFL Fox Sunday announced that the XFL that he bought off of Vince McMahon and the 2.0 edition of it, if you will, and then the USFL that returned recently, they're merged now as the UFL will have one spring football league. Of course, Raw still on the USA Network for the time being. Fox still has SmackDown for the time being. 2024, though, there's going to be a lot of change coming up with WWE and pro wrestling on television, to say the least. But then he was still in LA. College Game Day on site, as they always are for the Rose Bowl. We just witnessed Michigan beat Alabama in overtime in that 27-20. Got the Sugar Bowl on right now with Texas and Washington, 14-7. Huskies on top of the horns. 10 o'clock, Rock's in the ring and tells Jinder Mahal that he's in trouble. So from Hollywood, arguably the biggest star in Hollywood, to Jinder Mahal, who was on Big Sky on ABC recently, now making his return. They have two former WWE champions return, and The Rock comes out to Jinder Mahal. So we'll see what he has to say. I'll shut the hell up, and we'll get back to what I was saying a little bit ago. But is The Rock going to announce he's running for president? I mean, is this we went from one politic promo to another, maybe? Rock Bubba. Who's this no good son of a bitch jabroni Jinder Mahal? And Jinder says, of course you're here. Of course you gotta outweigh me. The People's Champ is back. Jingle-listic? Is that what he said? Jingle-listic? Not realistic? Or non-realistic? Be disgusted to represent the U.S. Well, yeah, with Joe Biden in office, yeah. Rock's not ashamed. Rock's damn proud to be the people's champ. Of course, we're all proud to be Americans as well. I mean, USA, no doubt about it. Could be a hell of a lot worse. Finally, The Rock has come back to San Diego, not WWE, not Raw, not SmackDown, not home. Remember, SmackDown News Revolution this Friday, Reigns will find out his opponent for the Royal Rumble in a triple threat match. They still need to do Rock and Reigns. They don't boo Jinder because of how he looks. They don't boo him because of how he talks. No. They boo Jinder. What's that, Iron Sheik? They boo Jinder because he's the biggest asshole on God's green earth. Yeah, Rock, last time he was in WWE before he returned back in the fall was 2019. Him and Becky were going up against Baron Corbin. SmackDown, it was him and Austin Theory, as Pat McAfee was the one who actually kicked off the show. But resting bitch face that Jinder has right now is the crowd is just calling him an asshole. Like actually, Rock got the crowd to do live right Happy Vow at the Bryce Jordan Center on Monday Night Raw, the actual first ever WWE draft back in 2002. Not funny. You'd be Baywatch if you were one of the Rock's movies. Shut your mouth when the Rock's talking. Doesn't matter what your name is. You didn't see Baywatch? You didn't see how bad it was? It doesn't matter. Not the TV show. Okay? We're not, slow motion running up and down the beach. I mean, they are in Southern California, but yeah, Rock's movie Baywatch. Now he's going after Jinder for saying America's a joke. I mean, this just gets him over, especially up against fucking Jinder Mahal. Yeah. As bad as it is, you still stand up. USA. Of course, shout out to the troops. Thank you for your service. Yeah, freedom of speech.
You can't ever come out here in the people's ring in front of the people with the people's champ in the building, run our country down, free of consequence.
Free of consequence from The Rock. And now we're going to get a rock bottom. Sure, we know who you are, Jinder. You're the modern day bitch. You're the day one douchebag. Day one, douchebag, slow clap. Day one, douchebag. And nothing's getting bleeped because they're on USA Network compared to, you know, Fox. Like, this ain't fucking cable. We work in sync. They just gave The Rock an idea. What's that? A match?
So you call yourself a unifier, and you're the only man to unify all these people. Well, The Rock as a people's champ is going to show you what real unifying means. Here's the thing, in about 10 to 15 seconds.
In about 10 to 15 seconds, this is what's going to happen. This half's going to chant something, this half's going to chant something. Day one, this half's going to chant douchebag. Yeah, it's normally you're a asshole, but it's day one douchebag tonight. He's not answering me, but are you ready? Let's break it down. Day one douchebag. Day one douchebag. Day one douchebag. This is the Jinder Mahal in the middle of the ring on Monday Night Raw right now. Jinder's just staring him down. But he's probably laughing inside. They'll hug it out backstage afterwards. He's going to hit him with a rock bottom here before too long. Hey, going all night, chant it. He's like, yeah, whatever, let him go. Jinder's going to have to cut him off. You know you're a douchebag when you got 20,000 people chanting. Rock says, all right, let's stop. Hold on. Slow down a little bit. All right. By God, that was fun. That was good. We got more, though. Yeah, we got one more last gift. Since you love the national anthem, he's going to sing it. The people's welcome. San Diego's aware. Jinder's jacked as hell, but his balls still aren't there. That's a steroid joke, if I've heard one. Angry, toxic douchebag. Left Rock no choice. Whoop your candy ass. They're in San Diego, not Sacramento, but I mean, of course, Lakers Kings. Jinder fighting back on the Rock. Boos. But then the Rock with a right hand, another right hand, make it just back and forth. Spine buster. And now the people's elbow with a little eyebrow raise. Off the ropes, off the ropes. There you go, with the people's elbow. And literally whips his belt off and whips Jinder with it to get him out of the ring. Back on the mic. And no rock bottom. Rocky chant from the crowd. Let's enter the Royal Rumble.
San Diego. I love you.
He says, I love you.
Happy New Year.
He says, Happy New Year.
Oh, by the way, one more thing.
One more thing.
Tonight,
Tonight,
after all this ass kicking,
after all this ass kicking,
he's gonna go out in San Diego. I'm a little hungry.
he's hungry.
I'm gonna go get something to eat.
He's going to go get something to eat. Well, I'd hope you eat if you're hungry.
Get something to eat tonight.
He's going to get something to eat tonight. Oh, it's going to be a little pie.
Sit in a booth.
A booth or a table? We all know it's booth.
Should the Rock sit at the bar?
He does bring up bar. Yeah, you could sit there too.
Yeah, Rock loves a bar too.
Or table. Let's get the tables. Let's rock bottom gender through a table. Yeah.
Sit.
Oh, the head of the table. There you go with the T's. Yes. Give us Reigns and Rock, finally. Thank you. WrestleMania. People will be bitching all, well, Cody needs to finish the story. Well, fuck off. No, he doesn't. That can wait. They need to do this first. Because it's been to the point now, they need to do Reigns and Rock. When they could have done it last year, could have done it the year before. Like,
I love you too, San
he says, I love you again.
That's what I thought.
And that's what I thought. And then you smell if the Rock is cooking.
But the Rock is cooking.
That was good. There you go with Reigns, Rock. Remember, come Friday night on SmackDown, triple threat. You'll have Randy Orton. You'll have AJ Styles, and you'll have LA Knight in a triple threat winner to face Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. There you go. Or if they wait until the Elimination Chamber, they'll still have 2 months or so to build. But seemingly come WrestleMania 40, he just teased booth, bar, or just not a table, but the head of the table. As we all know, Roman Reigns is the big dog tribal chief who sits at the head of the table of the bloodline as the undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion. And as Raw continues, a couple more matches within the next hour or so, then that'll do it. But yeah, now here's a Royal Rumble preview. It'll be Saturday, January 27th, so be sure to tune back in live on YouTube for that. But yeah, there you go with the tease. Head of the table for The Rock. And because it's just, it has been, right there in front of them. They just haven't been able to come, not necessarily to terms, but finding the time to do it. Reigns has been champion since SummerSlam of 2020. All right? It is January 1st, 2024 now. It's going on 4 years. They very well could have done it, at any point in time in between. When Rock had even said, right before he actually returned to WWE back in the fall, that the plan was to have the match last year at WrestleMania. But they couldn't find the time. More so on his end than the WWE's end. I mean, because then you look at Roman Reigns in the meantime. Remember, WrestleMania 36, COVID had just happened. He had opted out and then came back. You'll never see it coming at SummerSlam. Won the title. Hasn't lost it since. Okay, and unfortunately, Bray Wyatt never got his rematch because he passed away last summer. May he rest in peace. But then you go from WrestleMania 37, the triple threat match. Reigns sent both Daniel Bryan and Edge to AEW with the win. 38 in the greatest, biggest, WrestleMania match of all time, as they build it as, with him and Lesnar. He retains then. Beat Cody Rhodes in his return this past year at Mania 39. Now, I mean, they could do the match non-title, okay? But as I've been saying, they need to, do the match, but they need to have it for the title, okay? Everything else can be put on the back burner, as this has been put on the back burner for how many years now? Okay, they can wait to do whatever else afterwards. You do Reigns Rock for the title. They might not if they take the title off of Reigns, but what was the point of keeping the title on him this fucking long if you're, not going to do the Rock, but then you do decide to do it. You do it for the title, okay? It's Reigns Rock come WrestleMania, seemingly, as he just teased, or at the head of the table. He's going to go out to eat tonight, and do I sit at a booth at the bar or at the head of the table? Just on a table, but head of the table once again. Because then, because you'll have Rollins as the World Heavyweight Champion. You could do a triple threat with him, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk, and it would be fine, okay? Because the thing is, people are going to bitch. Well, Cody Rhodes needs to finish the fucking story. He needs to win the title. No, he doesn't. He does not, okay? You just fucking want that. There's a difference between wanting, needing, and then what you get. All right? None of us are, running the company. They are. They're going to do what they want. This is what they're doing, so you're going to live with it as you wanted it before, but all just because of somebody else. Now you don't. You can't have it both ways either, okay? So, no, you do Reigns Rock for the title, because it's going to work itself out in the end, as I've been saying the whole entire time anyway, that they need to do this one first, and then two, you go from there. Because in the long run, you have Reigns Rock, you have Reigns beat The Rock, okay? As I've been saying for years, rather than Rock beat Reigns, as a lot of people are going to want, but then that's even more heel heat on Roman Reigns. He's the big dog tribal chief that sits at the table with the bloodline. He's, number one. He's the undisputed, WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion. But then after you have Reigns beat Rock and retain his title, you have a plethora, okay, of superstars, wrestlers, talent, whatever the hell you want to call them, that could vie at that point in time, even though they already have, or if they haven't, they're going to be in a good position then. Whether it's a better position than they were in, or same, or worse, who knows? Who really cares? You get there when you get there. But you have Reigns beat Rock once again for the title. You do. And then whoever you have face Roman Reigns then afterwards, and if you decide Reigns to retain and this continues on and on, okay, there's talk it's for Roman Reigns, the number of days it's coming up on Hulk Hogan's title reign from back in the 80s. You would think they're probably gonna have him surpass that, at this point. I mean, why the hell not? As they show off moments ago, coming back from commercial break, Rock and Jinder Mahal, the former WWE champion, returning. It was Jinder Mahal, and then out came Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who, as I was stating from earlier, the scheduling, time and place, it worked itself out again. As saying, yeah, he was on College Game Day earlier again today, announcing more about the UFL and the teams that are going to be in the league. And then there was a picture that got out, whether it was supposed to get out or not, that really started the rumors all day today on New Year's. Of all days, of course. New Year's, and then you have this going on. Just add more fuel to the fire while you're at it. And just let it fucking burn. That, yeah, he was spotted with Nick Khan, who is in with the WWE. And of course, that was earlier today. Here we are tonight. I get the time difference from the East Coast to the West Coast. It's only like 7:30 out west right now. 10:30 local here, about, give or take, 20 after 10 here on the East Coast. So, yeah. Head of the table. So that's going to get people talking, and that's the thing with him and Roman Reigns. And yeah, they just break the ice and not really say much about it. Just stare you down, like, yeah, leave it at that. And let's try to follow this now to end the show. Good luck to this women's tag team match that nobody's going to give a shit about. Because to this point, up until Rock came out, the only good thing was R-Truth. I mean, you had the Cody Nakamura thing, but it was R-Truth and the Judgment Day. Okay, not disappointment, but crowd was like, seriously, with Jinder Mahal. And then out came The Rock, and now you got this, and then, okay, you got a World Heavyweight Championship match at the end of the show in the main event. There's that. They obviously did that at 10 o'clock to give it time, you know, and then they can cut if they need to later. Rather than that being the main event and they overrun, then, you know, nothing gets seen. At least on TV, you'd have to be there. But no, as I was saying, you do Reigns Rock finally. Thank you. You have Reigns beat The Rock. And then afterwards, continue Roman Reigns' numbered day streak as champ. They'll probably have him surpass Hogan's record at this point. I mean, why the hell not, I was saying. But whoever goes up against Roman Reigns then after he beats The Rock, you'd think, knock on wood, at least it makes sense. Whether it be Seth Rollins, it's probably going to be CM Punk, or you can then have Cody Rhodes finish the story. Okay? It's just going to have to wait. That's the part of storytelling, folks. You know, there's chapters. You know, it's building. You just can't have everything all at once, because then what are you going to do after the fact? You know? Like, it's slow and steady. It's one thing at a time. You can't have it both ways. You can't have everything all, you know, that you want. It's a difference, once again, between wanting, needing, and what you get. But it overall afterwards, with Reigns beating The Rock, whoever it is, whether it's one of those that I named off, somebody that I didn't name off, whoever it is, it's going to make them look like a fucking star. Because they then just beat Roman Reigns, who has been champion come that time for the past, as it's been almost 4 years at this point. We'll say 4 years when the time comes. 4+ years, however many days as champion. You know, like, this goes back just to the beginning, really, in pro wrestling. When you have a champion for, you know, so long. Like, Bruno was champion back in the 60s and 70s for like 8-9 years, for God's sakes. Straight. Not, you know, total within the decade, or 2 decades, or however you want to put it. Or Hogan's record. But then it's, you know, Backlund winning, and it's, you know, whoever, okay? Like, it doesn't matter who it is at the end of the day, but it's going to make them look like a fucking star. And then it works itself out in the long run. And then everybody's, at the end of the day, either happy or still pissed off. And if you're still pissed off, well, then that's on you. That's your fucking problem, you know? Because they know damn well that people will still tune in and watch. And you know how, you know, much attention with what just happened with Rock's going to get once again? A lot. Okay? And it's going to, with the tease, especially to sit at the head of the table. I mean, that was just perfect. I mean, I wasn't even thinking head of the table, you know, when he said, you know, booth, okay, yeah, bar, table, but yeah, duh, no shit, like Roman Reigns, head of the table, you have The Rock, but then it's also with the bloodline, you know, the family history, like, you add all that, like, it's a match made in heaven. It's a story that's been in the making for, well, since birth, to be honest with you, since the beginning of time, and now they're finally going to do it. Seemingly, they're going to do it, bearing any injury, bearing any, you know, changes. So, yeah, it'll seemingly be Roman Reigns defending his Universal title against Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson at WrestleMania come early April. And good luck getting tickets if you haven't already. Luckily, I did when they went on sale, but regardless of that, I'm not, you know, toting anything, pat myself on the back, but the damn show's sold out. I mean, you can still find, you know, tickets, secondary market where you're going to be paying for them, to say the least. Like, I'm talking probably at this rate, especially after this now, probably mortgaging this and that, and trying to come up with money. But yeah, that's big. Just not with a return. I mean, because it was rumored. Okay, like, yeah, potentially it's him. Maybe it's somebody else. There was talk on a couple people that were most recently in AEW that were going to be leaving the company and coming back to the WWE. Okay, maybe them. But yeah, when was the last time Jinder was seen? It's been a while. So yeah, a little shock. And then like the gasp, like, oh really? Like, but then yeah, it was a setup. That's it's storytelling, folks. It's soap opera. And they could do Reigns Rock non-title. He'd have to lose the title, say at the Royal Rumble then, or Elimination Chamber, and then maybe the Rock screws him over, and then that's how that match gets set up. But he just teased it, So why would you, screw him over when you can still do for the title? They're gonna do what they want. We'll have to see what they end up doing. That's what we're gonna have to watch. Be sure to tune back in on Friday for SmackDown New Year's Revolution. I'm sure there's going to be talk about it then, because of course SmackDown is where Roman Reigns is at as the champ, and there's a triple threat that night to determine his next challenger, new number one contender for the title at the Royal Rumble. And it's either going to be Randy Orton, AJ Styles, or LA Knight. Hell, maybe it comes a fatal four-way and Rock wins it, and then you get the match of the Royal Rumble. And then you do something in Elimination Chamber, and you do a trios, or not a trios, but get the grudge match. You do, one match here, one match here, one match there. You let it play out, and now that they're going to be doing it, seemingly it's been building and building and building. It's going to be the biggest thing they're going to have come WrestleMania. That'll, no doubt about it, be main event of night 2. I can guarantee you that. That'll be the last thing you see before Raw after Mania. And I can probably guarantee you it's still going to be, a certain music playing at the end of the show that's going to piss people off. But it's going to, storyline-wise, with everything I just said, work itself out. Because that's the thing, like, Rock ain't going to be around. So why have him fucking win when you can have Reigns go over? Makes him look even bigger than he already is, as he is the guy. But then you have whoever beats Reigns then after the fact look like an absolute star. Whether it's this person, that person, that person. And then, if it works itself out that way, if it doesn't, when you go back and you figure it out. But it's a new starting point then at that point afterwards. Because people, at least I think, see it that way, because it's with Reigns, they're getting pissed. It's just the same old. He's not doing much, even though he's still champion. Especially for as long as it's been. But, like, he is the guy. Like, he is WWE right now. He, as I've said, Roman Reigns is this generation's Bruno Sammartino, Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and John Cena wrapped up into one. That is Roman Reigns, okay? It has been Roman Reigns. You don't believe me? Go check out my old videos. I'm not fucking sitting here bullshitting lying with you right now on New Year's, okay? Everybody has their own opinion. Mine, let me know yours in the comments below. But, yeah, just say once again thank you, because they're finally doing it. It's been a long time coming that, once again, every time Reigns is in a situation, defending the title here, it's like, if only they would do Reigns and Rock, like, because how long does this go on for? How long does this continue? I think everybody's been asking ourselves that for as long as it's been going on, but you can't argue or disagree, like I would think you would agree, that the Roman Reigns we've seen the past few years as the tribal chief is the best character one, he's done, let alone two WWE's had in quite a while. Because it's always must-watch TV. Like, you think you know what's going on, and then expect the unexpected. Like, they swerve you. Like, the bloodline crumbled recently in 2023. Here we are in 2024 now, and he's got another test coming up. But, yeet. Hey, we're finally getting Reigns and Rock. And yeah, it's going to be at the show of shows. WrestleMania 40, it seems like. Come early April. The Link in Philadelphia. Home of the Philadelphia Eagles. So, as mentioned before, be sure to keep an eye out for videos then, as I'll be live in attendance, live in living color for content. Enjoying myself that weekend for sure. So, be sure to keep an eye out. Be sure to tune back in on Friday for WWE Friday Night SmackDown. They'll have a New Year's Revolution as they're having day one for Monday Night Raw tonight. Of course, college football is coming to an end, unfortunately. The college football playoff semis are, well, Rose Bowl's over with. Michigan just beat Alabama 27-20 in overtime. Currently in the Sugar Bowl, as mentioned, with Texas and Washington as well. 1 week from now will be the college football playoff national championship game, so be sure to tune back in for that live here on YouTube as well. Week 18 of the National Football League next week too, so coverage of that. And then in the weeks and months to come here in 2024, more pro wrestling. As WWE will have Royal Rumble at the end of the month. We'll then have WWE Elimination Chamber mid to late February. Continue on the road to WrestleMania. AEW will have Revolution early March, and then we'll see if there's going to be anything else. Right now, it doesn't seem like it, but you know how pro wrestling is. You know, there's shit that just pops up, you know, on the fly sometimes. Take it, you know, one day at a time, you know, see what happens. But then, yeah, WrestleMania 40. They'll have Friday Night SmackDown, the Hall of Fame, and NXT TakeOver with Stand and Deliver. They'll have night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania 40. It'll be officially Saturday and Sunday, April 6th and 7th, 2024. So 3 months from this upcoming weekend here in the new year. So once again, Happy New Year to everyone. And then, of course, as always, the Raw after WrestleMania, as well as they fade to black for this commercial break. With the main event coming up next on tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw, Day 1 edition. And the main event will be Seth frickin' Rollins defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Drew McIntyre. So don't expect a title change here. But no, yeah. Reigns, Rock, just thank God. And, you know, thank the WWE, thank Triple H. One, thank The Rock overall, I mean, for finding the time for, one, being who he is in the pro wrestling world, but two, he's arguably the biggest name in Hollywood and has been. He was having some fun on some, you know, bad movies of his in the promo with Jinder too, I might add, but, yeah, they're gonna finally do Roman Reigns and The Rock, and I think it should be for the title. If it's not, then you do something else for the title. But you're to this point now, you know, why take it off of them? You know, like, you have Roman Reigns once again beat The Rock. You have Rock go away as he will, because that's the thing. Like, why have Rock beat Reigns? Because he ain't going to be fucking around. You know, just to have Reigns beat him right back, and then that streak's gone. Like, you have Reigns continue on. Like, they would do that for others, you know. Like, they would do that for tag titles. They would do that for mid-card titles. They'd have the champ hold it for X amount of days, lose to whoever, but then win it right back, you know, shortly after. Like, for instance, just the other night, AEW World's End, Christian was defending the TNT title against Edge, Adam Copeland. Edge won the no DQ banger that they had. But then right afterwards, because of a rematch clause, but technically Luchasaurus, Killswitch winning the Battle Royal earlier in the night, Christian took that from him, and, you know, okay, said to Edge, I want my rematch, and then real quick, 1, 2, 3, won the title back. They're not going to do that with this. They won't. It wouldn't make any fucking sense for the streak. But then they, look at it for WrestleMania 10 years ago. I believe it's been that long, but they had The Undertaker lose at WrestleMania. He lost his undefeated streak. But, Brock Lesnar was the one in 21-1. Like, just once again, as they'll do what they, want to do, it's their company, and rightfully so. And we live with it one way or another. Like, it'll be all right at the end of the day. Everybody will get over it. That just when you think everything's, smooth sailing on, that's when they swerve you. That's when they change it up. And of course, that's what makes it, great. I mean, the spoilers with social media and everything. I mean, yeah, it's not what it used to be, but what is anymore. I mean, just like Ginger was saying and The Rock was saying, with the U.S. of how bad it's got, and of course, don't disrespect the United States of America, and land of the free, home of the brave. Once again, shout out to the troops. Thank you for service, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard. Former, current, future military members. Thank you to the vets and active duty. But they'll promote a couple matches for Raw next week, or SmackDown this week. Still to come in the meantime, too. They'll have the New Year's Revolution. That will, I would think, have a lot of what happened just a little bit ago. So, yeah, we'll see where WWE goes from here. Got Royal Rumble coming up once again in a couple weeks. And then you'll officially be on the road to WrestleMania. But, no, you have Roman Reigns beat Rock. You do. Okay? I've been saying this for I don't know how fucking long. Okay? You have Reigns beat Rock. Because Rock ain't going to be around. If he'd be around afterwards for a good, solid, you'd have to say year at that point. Okay? Then you have a decision to make. But you know damn well right afterwards, he's gone. They got a 3-4 month window here to get it done. And they're doing it. Seemingly, they are. He teases at least, sit at the head of the table rather than at the bar or at a booth. I mean, maybe this match is going to be taking place in one of those Applebee's commercials that they spun off with WrestleMania going Hollywood last year, and the Bloodline, being in a mafia movie. But whether, as McIntyre's challenging Rollins here for the World Heavyweight Championship, we're about to burn it down in the main event at Raw. This is day one. There will be a lot of good fellas, come main event time of WrestleMania, and it's going to be Roman Reigns and The Rock, okay? But yeah, you have Reigns beat Rock, you do, because Rock ain't going to be around. Like I said, if he was afterwards, it'd be a different story. You have a decision to make. But then you have Reigns continue on with the streak. At this rate, seemingly they're going to have him bypass Hulk Hogan's record. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. Then it's okay, whatever. At least they did Roman Reigns and Rock. That's the thing with, they need to do this, they need to do that. No, they need to do this first. This is something they can't get out of order. It has to be before they do everything else. It's a part of that story. If you want Cody to finish his story afterwards, to have everything make sense. I get not everything makes sense, but this has to be done right. And thank God they're doing it before they're doing anything else. People are going to be pissed. Let them be pissed. I care less. They know, and that's probably what they're thinking, because they know people are still going to watch. Because then they'll do something else. That's what I said. Rollins, World Heavyweight Champion, he's not losing to McIntyre here. I mean, we'll see how the show ends, but he ain't losing. You could do a fucking triple threat. Because I've said, nobody thought CM Punk was coming back to the WWE. Hell froze over, yes, the Survivor Series. But I've said, if they do Reigns and Rock finally, this was a couple months ago, that, okay, you do that, that's your one main event. Cody can't finish the story there. People will be pissed. All right, whatever. But then you have Rollins Rhodes, as they did, WrestleMania 38 when he came back to the company, They had those few matches before he tore his pec and got hurt, returned to the Royal Rumble last year. Of course, won and then lost to Reigns last year at Mania. So, but then Punk returns. Like, you could now with Reigns, Rock, you could do a triple threat with Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk. And I would think one of those, last two would beat Rollins, because Rollins has been champion since Night of Champions this past spring. And that was when Roman Reigns surpassed 1,000 days as champion, I might add, too. But no, overall, after Reigns, Rock, with Reigns beating Rock, whoever it is after the fact, it doesn't matter at that point. Whoever it is, they beat Roman Reigns, and at that point, they look like a star. They then are the number one guy. They do and did the unthinkable. Like, didn't think anybody would beat them. Well, then they do, and then it's a shock, and then you move on from there and do whatever the hell you want at that point. Like, so, main event Monday Night Raw, day 1 underway. Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. We're also watching the college football playoff. We saw the Rose Bowl earlier, in which Michigan beat Alabama 27-20 in overtime. Currently live right now in the Sugar Bowl. It is Texas and Washington. I will get a score for you momentarily. It is 21 apiece at halftime, as I'm getting the game back up and running, as it, for whatever reason, turned itself off. Technology is with technical difficulties myself. Buffer disconnect, reconnect every once in a while. Knock on wood, been a-okay tonight, thank God. But technology, it's good, but it also sucks when you need to be good, of course. But then in the meantime, all that just happened with The Rock, and now here I am getting back on track with, watching this game again. So, but they're at halftime, so 21 apiece. But split screen commercial in the meantime, main event on Raw day 1, Rollins, McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. So we'll get back to the action shortly. I just want to say thank you for tuning in and watching my live watch long reactions this evening. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy 2024. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. It's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at the red subscribe notification button next to it as well to stay up to date. Thumbs up button if you're enjoying New Year's Day, let alone all the football we've seen and The Rock returning on Raw tonight. Share, hashtag, honestly, at this rate, whatever the hell you want to use, doesn't really matter to me. Hashtag The Rock. Yeah, hashtag The Rock. For what it's worth. He's going to be going after the head of the table. And Roman Reigns, the Universal Championship, it seems like, come WrestleMania. But then chat questions and comments, super chat, super sticker, super like, super thanks. Always greatly appreciated, as well as this video is powered by Rogue Energy, HopeKThrifts, and Dead and Hungry as well. So links in the description below for the three of them. Thanks for the sponsorship, and we'll get back to the action once again shortly. See some chat questions and comments coming in. So yeah, just from early to now, shows picked up for sure. I mean, that's going to be a big buzz. That's going to be that's going to have everyone talking. Rock. So that's why I said, yeah, just hashtag The Rock. But no, it would normally be for whatever it is we're watching. So hashtag WWE, hashtag WWE Raw, hashtag Day 1. It's the second ever Day 1. It has a pay-per-view a couple years ago. It didn't have it last year on New Year's, even though they could have. Now they're doing it as a TV special for Monday Night Raw tonight. Have New Year's Revolution on SmackDown Friday night. So we should be back in live running for that as well. But then, hashtag wrestling community, The Rock once again. I mean, yeah, The Rock returned for the second time in the past 2 months, but nothing regarding head to head with the Bloodline or Roman Reigns up until the end of that promo afterwards that, hey, I'm hungry, I'm going to have to eat tonight, where should I sit? Booth, bar, table, maybe the head of the table, and then if you smell the rocks cooking, so. But yeah, then college football, so hashtag that, CFP playoff, and your favorite team, but yeah, it's that time of year for myself at least, from the football season, almost coming to an end to now back full swing into pro wrestling. Because during the fall, pro wrestling for myself does go on the back burner. And it really went on the back burner this past year more than it ever has. But still know what the hell's going on. Like I was saying earlier, like if you're not watching, you're not really missing much, up until the point, he came back. With well, first it was Jinder Mahal as the former WWE champion returning tonight, but then out came The Rock. So, because like I said before, then it was really just the Cody Nakamura segment. They're gonna have a match now next week. It was R-Truth and the Judgment Day on Miz TV, that tag team match they had, and then from then until Rock returned, not much. Since then, really not much either, because that's going to be hard to follow, no doubt about it. At the women's tag team match, now this main event, and it's for the World Heavyweight Championship. It's Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre 1-on-1. So kick out at 2, sweet. Match continues, and we'll go from here. So I'll leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. And once again, thanks for tuning in and watching. Showing off some highlights from the Rose Bowl earlier. Once again, game went to overtime. Wolverines beat the Crimson Tide 27-20. And they'll face either Texas or Washington next week in the national championship game, and they're both tied at 21 right now in the Sugar Bowl. So, and WWE about to go to the final commercial break here after the suicide dive from Rollins to McIntyre ringside, as the world title is on the line. The other thing too is now with Michigan, as I said earlier, a lot of people are gonna, well, if they win, they're just gonna strip them of the title in the long run anyway because they cheated, with the sign stealing scandal. There's been punishment. There's gonna be more punishment, no doubt about it. What that extent is, who knows? Harbaugh definitely at this point ain't leaving. They're in the process of extending them anyway. He played at Michigan, played in the NFL for a long time, got into coaching, was the head coach of Stanford, went to the 49ers, lost to his brother in the Super Bowl, and then was fired a couple years later, been at Michigan ever since. Third year in a row they've been in the playoff. They finally win. Now they're going to the national title game. Because of this, because of that, yeah, I can understand the argument. Self-imposed suspension, conference suspension. The NCAA ain't the NCAA, as we know college athletics to be anymore with the way this, at least college football is gone and going into the future as, with NIL and all that. But kick out at 2 once again. Match continues. Yeah, they'll. This is only if Michigan would win. Now, if they lose, like, people would be happy. Like, a lot of people are going to be rooting for either Texas or Washington now next week since Michigan won. Probably the same if Alabama would have won. So it's really like, yeah, okay, whoever wins the Sugar Bowl, that's who I want to win the national title. Like I said earlier, I mean, I made my picks. As a Penn State fan, Big Ten fan, it's good for the conference. It's good for everybody involved. I mean, if it's Washington and Michigan, that's Big Ten football now. I mean, that's even better. Because Texas, Big 12, the SEC. I mean, there's that for you too. But look at it that way. But yeah, just at the end of the day, it just overall is what it is. Like, you look at the Patriots. They were caught red-handed cheating. How many times? The NFL ever stripped Super Bowls? No. There were suspensions, there were fines, etc., etc. Yeah, it was. As I said, when Michigan played at Penn State, in the heat of everything going on, yeah, no doubt about it, you lose respect because you take the integrity out of the game, out of the sport. You're trying to figure out a way to win outside the lines, if you will, when the game's played inside the lines. But of course, be rooting for Michigan next week, for the Big Ten, no doubt about it. I mean, if they're playing Washington, then that's a pick 'em, because Washington's now a member of the Big Ten, or at least will become this summer in time for next season. And just overall makes, the conference look stronger. Like, that's what I've always stated. People don't agree with it nowadays because they just hate this program and this program for whatever fucking reason. Like, get over yourself. Like, it's overall, better in the long run, big picture of things, because it helps everybody out. You want to bring up money, it definitely helps people out. Everything gets split. Like, it just, it might not seem like a big deal, or you might not think it's a big deal, but it is. Because all the little things add up. So, no, but, like, once again, I can understand the argument, because I agree with it, believe it myself, but then, like, sort of contradicting myself, I know, but, and you can't have it both ways, but it just is what it is, though, so we'll have to see what happens, but, I mean, that's always just the interesting part to it. You can't predict the future, folks. You can only control what you can control, okay? So, yeah, I don't think Harbaugh's leaving at this right now. Most definitely not. Like, he might never leave. He'll retire as the Michigan head coach because he gets them to the national championship game. Let alone they win next week, he for sure he'll die on the field. He'll be there, forever. From a Michigan man playing for the Wolverines, and then he had to be the prodigal son to take him over and get him back to the promised land. Then like, that's the story to a T. They'll have to make sure all their I's are dotted next week, and I mean, they needed overtime today. I mean, this game's not up at 21. I mean, these semis again this year are going to be down to the wire. Excellent. I mean, damn good football. So, but no, yeah, just, of course, some thoughts on that. Like I said, when it all happened, it seemed like, yeah, there was somebody out to get Jim Harbaugh, because he pissed him off one way or another. Because it's just not like this is one thing. There's been plenty of things that they've tried to get him on, and they can't, have it hold. And, I mean, I'm not saying what he did, or what supposedly Connor Stallions did is wrong, because it sure as hell is. But And you might say, well, you have no room to talk because you're a Penn State fan with what happened in the past. Well, kiss my ass, okay? 3-2-1, McIntyre's Claymore kick, but a power bomb instead. Kick out at 2. Match continues here in the next couple minutes. Monday Night Raw will be over with. Once again, thanks for tuning in and watching. But, I mean, yeah, there's always going to be, in the landscape of how things play out, shit happens, shit hits the fan. Always a fall guy. But with the cheating, like, that's taking the integrity out of the game, okay? Like, once again, you're innocent until proven guilty. Guilty a decade ago. If you know, you know what I'm referencing. And rightfully so, and right. I'll say that if people are thinking as I'm saying this, like, well, what are you getting at? Well, there you go. But, like, because what happened, and you know, the cheating to it, yet they're still this good after the fact now too. They're not doing it anymore. Yet the thing is, cheating happens all the fucking time. It's just a matter of fact if you get caught or not. What the hell? Here comes Damian Priest with his Money in the Bank. Ref by his side, with Dominic Mysterio, might add, too. World Heavyweight Championship match. Rollins, McIntyre. Is he cashing in his Money in the Bank? Priest just hit Rollins with the briefcase. The ref in the ring didn't see it. He's walking over to the ref he walked out with, saying he's cashing in his Money in the Bank, with then McIntyre with a Claymore kick knocking him out. So no, not tonight. And then Dom just got thrown all over the place. McIntyre back in the ring, but guess what? Claymore kick? All right, I wasn't thinking that. Cover 1, 2, 3 maybe. I was going to say Rollins reverses it, stomps. 1, 2, foot on the bottom rope. Nope. Foot's on the bottom rope. So now here comes the stomp. McIntyre's like, what the hell? Just shocked. Match continues here. Rollins to the ropes. McIntyre pissed off, breaking apart now, tearing apart the announce table. Got to make sure you get rid of everything before you send somebody through it. That's a given. And actually, Rollins reverses. Will pedigree McIntyre through the announce table now. And I am the table. The table did not break. We know Rock's going to be wanting to sit at the head of the table and go after Roman Reigns now. Found that out earlier. Now here comes a stomp. They're back in the ring. Rollins with a curb stomp and a cover with an arm. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins retains his World Heavyweight Championship. As expected. As expected. Got a minute left. No, but the thing is with Michigan, as I was saying, like, they're still damn good. They're still beating people. They're still undefeated. They've only lost twice total the past now 3 years. 3 seasons. Okay? And they got one more game to go to win the national title. So, hope, you give it your all. You leave it all on the field as you would any game. But, yeah, so... Like, it's not like they went from being good because they cheated to sucking, Like, they came out of nowhere. Like, they've never been good and they're good for a year or two and then they're back to sucking because then they get caught cheating. No, like, Michigan's winningest program in college football history. They fade to black. That's WWE Monday Night Raw this evening for the Day 1 special. Seth Rollins still your World Heavyweight Champion, but the talk is The Rock returning, and saying head of the table with a little eyebrow raise, and seemingly a tease to challenge Roman Reigns for the Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship come WrestleMania, as will be officially on the road to WrestleMania after the Rumble at the end of the month. So be sure to tune back in live on YouTube for that. WWE will have Friday Night SmackDown, New Year's Revolution this Friday as well, so be sure to tune back in for that as well. More college football, more NFL in the next couple weeks and months as well. So just be sure to subscribe. Just be sure to subscribe. So I'll leave it at that, with what I was just saying, and everything I said tonight, So good day of football with the college football playoff semis, the way they played out. Good bowl season, again, as usual for the most part, normally is. But then a good last hour, good finish to Raw. It was average until The Rock came out. And then, once again, good luck following that. So we'll see what happens from here. But I've stated my case. I said my piece on, my opinions, thoughts and opinions on Roman Reigns and The Rock, and I'll leave it at that. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see what the company does, in the next shows, and until they get to the shows, because we're going to be on the road to WrestleMania here before too long with the Royal Rumble, and then Elimination Chamber, and then, of course, WrestleMania 40. So, there's not much else to be said. So, just let me know your thoughts and opinions as well in the comments below. And thanks for tuning in and watching. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. So, Happy New Year, and I'll see everybody when I see you. Now, here we are into 2024. So, next live stream will, in fact, be on Friday for Friday Night SmackDown, 8 o'clock, so we should be back in then. It'll be SmackDown New Year's Revolution, as they just ended with the day one on Raw. So, Happy New Year, and I'll see everybody when I see you.